Sausages. Well, Chris, this is like you have to be right here. Yeah.
Hello.
Suck
Yeah.
penis.
This dick right up in your face. Okay. Testing. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I can hear you.
Cool. Testicles. 1, 2, 3.
Hello.
There you go.
Okay. Sounds good.
Very nice.
Like, just hold the dick.
Yeah.
You don't even have to cuff the balls.
Y'all talking. What's Thomas doing there? He's getting practice in there. He's warming up.
Pinot fags.
On service. Well, that's what they do, bro. That's fags.
Gotta get that supplemental income.
He'll rake up your leaves. Yeah.
He's cut rate insurance. Fucking mayhem. Y'all ready to start the show?
Just do it.
Yeah. To it.
Yeah. You ready?
Thank you for having me on again.
Oh man, no problem, brother. Let's mute our mics.
John Eric. Media.
Okay, here we go.
All you ladies, pull your chi-chis out. This is the JP Lopez show. Also, if you're a transgender, pull your pecker out. This is the JP Lopez show.
What is up? Thank you for tuning back into the JP Lopez show. I got a first timer here.
Yes, that is me.
Pop in his cherry. What's up, Chris?
Pop it. What's up, man?
Got Chris Martinez on the podcast. I got my boy Thomas back.
Thank you for having me, my brother.
We got a little fucked up last night.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Bad influence, dude.
It was a welcome home party for Chris, but he missed it.
Trust me, under certain circumstances, I would have been there.
We had a blast for you, I promise.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You know?
Yes, sir.
Welcome back, Santos.
Right? He's here.
So catch us on the El Editor. The John Eric Media is on the El Editor. It's pretty safe to say whoever reads this on a constant basis doesn't know what the fuck a podcast is. But, hey, man, at least we're on it, right?
Hey, shout out to y'all, dude. Honestly, all of y'all guys.
Hell yeah.
That's cool shit, bro.
Shout out to the whole John Eric Media.
Yeah, shout out, guys.
Yeah.
So what's up, Chris?
Man, just living life.
Yeah. It sucks for the reason that you're in town, but
yeah,
I'm happy you're in town.
Yeah, I mean, we had planned to come in earlier in the year, but some stuff came up, and then, unfortunately, my wife's sister passed away.
Man, sorry to hear about that.
Yeah,
Sorry to hear about that, man.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. It's part of life, I guess.
Yeah, it is, and it sucks.
Stuff happens.
It's the shitty part of life.
Yeah, it is. Death is always. I don't know. It's a crazy thing, but I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, I couldn't wait to fucking have you on the podcast, bro.
I listened to you all the freaking time. Like, I couldn't wait. I knew eventually you would have your own podcast just because.
Right.
Like, I don't know. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
And initially, you'd be like, you need to listen to the pendejos because they're pretty good and stuff.
Yeah.
And I would listen to them, and I was like, damn, I miss Lubbock.
Yeah.
It was still nostalgic. I always would think about stuff they bring up, and I'm like, man, I miss Lubbock, and it's just.
You got the fuck out of Dodge pretty quick, right?
Yeah.
How long you been in the DFW area? Over 10 years, right?
Yeah, this year will be 13 years.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, nice.
So yeah, we've been there quite a while.
I remember I went with y'all.
Oh yeah,
when you went apartment searching.
Yeah, I remember
y'all didn't
that.
even have jobs yet, did y'all? Or y'all did?
Well, we applied for jobs, and then my wife, she got a job first, so she's like,
when we went apartment hunting, you already had landed jobs.
She did. She had an interview. We went back the next.
Yeah, that's
week,
what I was thinking.
She
I didn't think y'all had jobs yet.
Yeah, and then she got it, and as soon as she got it, she's like, "Let's go." And I mean, I had some cash saved over to kind of hold us over, so we moved there, and then I would say within a month I had first interview, and that's the place I've been working at since.
Forever.
Was it something you planned, or were y'all planning to move down there? Or was it spontaneous? Or?
We had some friends of ours who were from the DFW area. Okay. And they would come stay with us during the football season because they're a Tech alumni.
Oh yeah.
So they would, they were my wife's friends, and she introduced me to.
They were the DFW recruiters.
Yeah, they
Come
recruited us.
on, guys! It's so fun over here.
Yeah, they were my wife's
There's a lot
friends.
of Mexicans here.
The traffic fucking is awesome.
There's no traffic. Bullshit.
Yeah, right. Traffic's horrible.
Imagine.
You
bro.
love driving 40 minutes to work. Come on, guys.
Well, when we got in town, driving down University, y'all have that little construction on 19th and University.
Oh, fuck them,
Dude,
bro.
Shit. I was like,
Dude, try going to
where
a
the hell
Tech
am I?
basketball game in that bullshit. That one lane. Oh, dude. It's such a headache.
It's always there too. Hey,
Yeah.
19th and
They
University.
couldn't have done that shit in the summer. They had to
Exactly.
do it during fucking school.
it's been going on for a while, right?
I think they started it right when school started.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
half the time there's nobody out there. The equipment's there. It's like, y'all can, if y'all work,
Yeah,
shit
and
will
this
get done
typical construction
Just
shit.
broke it
One
down
guy
and said-
working and 4 guys watching them and shit.
on their phones.
That's funny.
Checking their MySpace.
How do I log in? How do I get my password
I
back?
forgot my password.
Oh man, they took me off the top 4 friends. God damn it.
So I'll get into it, bro. You've been in DFW 13 years. What's one of the most things that you miss about Lubbock?
I would say common courtesy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, when I first moved there, like, I'm from West Texas, so everyone, we have West common courtesy,
Yeah.
You open the door for a lady, you
Exactly.
say excuse me, thank you, yes sir, no sir, whatever. People out there don't give a shit,
bro, yeah.
And it's a lot of like, it was weird because like the first time we went to like
I
an outlet.
figured like you would still have this Southern hospitality over there.
It's not. I mean, there's some people who are nice, but it's not like Lubbock. It's just people are different in Lubbock. I don't know if it's like that still, but
Wow.
when I left, it was still like you walk up to a door at a convenience store and someone would hold the door open.
Yeah.
And we were raised different, you know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
and I think it still is. You still catch that, but a lot of this the younger generation,
Yeah,
they don't know how to wipe their own ass. They
suck,
don't, bro.
They do not give a shit, man.
Yeah.
And I teach my daughters that. And, I have a JP knows I have an oldest daughter. She's my lesbian. I like to talk about, but she's always been that way. And then I've told her, I was like, you don't have to do that. She's like, no, it's just common courtesy.
Yeah,
Dad."
exactly.
And that goes a long ways. Yeah. But Dallas, I've been there a few times, throughout the years. And I'm like, these motherfuckers are assholes, man.
They don't give a shit.
Yeah,
And it's like it's different now because like it's getting flooded with all the people from like California, Washington. Like the neighborhood I live in, the majority of people there aren't even from Texas. They're from
Damn.
Oh, shout out to my family though. I have Dallas and Dallas. Y'all aren't assholes. My bad.
Yeah, not those guys.
Not y'all. Y'all are amazing.
Except y'all.
Except
Y'all are cool.
Y'all are real cool.
Yeah. But,
So you're starting to see a bunch of people migrate from
Oh.
Cali into.
yeah,
Damn,
yeah.
I thought that was just gonna be like the Austin area or some shit.
Well, because it's still a little cheaper to live out there. I mean, I wouldn't say cheap. I'm just saying it's a lot cheaper than living in California.
Yeah.
And what people are doing is they're keeping their salaries, their California salaries, and moving over to the North Dallas. So like houses are cheaper, the cost of living is cheaper. So they're living it up there.
And is it expanding more north?
Oh,
How you said you moved
yeah.
up north? Yeah, and that, exactly. And that's kind of in Lubbock. I've noticed the Friendship area and the Cooper area. It's exploding. And I do landscaping in town, and all over, bro. It's like you see houses for sale just going up, going up, going up. And we hear that California's coming over here, and a lot of. And so yeah, so not only the big cities, they'll come.
When
hit
we
us.
were in fucking high school, bro, Cooper area was nothing but trailer parks
Exactly.
and like fucking fields.
That's where we used to go cruise.
now
to
there's
get
fucking
drunk.
mansions of
Exactly.
homes and
Exactly,
fucking
brother.
crazy, man.
Yeah, Lubbock's gotten big
Yeah.
from what I've noticed. Yeah, but yeah, it's just expanding over there. Like, and now they're gonna build that Universal Studios theme park in
Oh
Frisco.
yeah, I heard about that.
Like, I feel sorry for the people who like live in that area
Because you lived in Frisco.
Yeah, I lived in Frisco for like 8
Man, that's
years
nuts.
before we bought our house. So, it's always been like the reason we chose Frisco when we moved out there is because it reminded us of Lubbock.
Yeah.
But just no dust. It was like a less dusty.
Well, you
Lubbock.
lived in a badass part. Like you were walking
nice.
distance from a bunch of shit.
You
The
ever by
soccer
Market Street?
stadium.
Okay.
The soccer stadium went too far.
Yeah,
right?
it's down like the next street over.
And then not walking distance, but the star wasn't
Star.
that far from
Yeah,
you.
it was right there. We went to the first Tech spring game there.
Oh yeah,
When
yeah.
Cliff Kingsbury
When
had
Cliff
that?
Really?
first took
Yeah.
over the
Yeah,
team.
that was badass. Like, I'm not a Cowboy fan like at all. I used to hate the Cowboys a lot, but now it's just kind of whatever. But
Yeah.
that place is freaking amazing. Like, we got my buddy. He got us some tickets from his cousin. He's I don't know where he got the tickets from, but we got like access to everything.
Yeah, you were on the field, right?
We were on the field. We got to go in the area where like the players eat. And so like coaches were like coming up to us. They thought that we were like boosters and shit. So they come up to me like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" Shaking my hand. "How you doing, sir?"
Yeah.
The running backs coaches.
Make you feel important.
Yeah, I was like, dang.
Cliff rubbed his balls.
Yeah, come take my $20. Yeah, my wife, she got a picture with Cliff. And, yeah, it was a really good experience, but it was kind of cool to see Tech out there, you know.
Yeah. I don't remember Jay Cutler ever being at that show.
Yeah, he was
because
there.
I tripped out when I
went to
saw
that,
Lorraine with Jay Cutler, and I texted him. I was like, "When the fuck did Lorraine meet Jay Cutler?" And he was like, "When we were in Lubbock at the bodybuilding show," and I was like,
Oh, nice. Okay.
"Fuck, I
know he
don't
was in town
remember
either.
that."
That's
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah, she took a picture with him, so I posted it on my social media. I was like, "Oh, my wife wanted me to look like her ex, so I'm trying, you know. I don't have the purple chones, but you know, I'm trying."
Still
One
got
step at a time.
Still got that dick bulge. Though.
Yeah, yeah. I think my bulge is a little bigger now.
Chorizo.
Yeah, I'm natural. You know?
Yeah, dude. It's just crazy because this 2022 you heard more than any year, a bunch of motherfuckers are moving from California. But I just assumed it was just gonna be all the Austin area.
Yeah.
It didn't ever fucking occur to me it'd be the entire
it's-
state.
Yeah.
It's popular up there, and it's I mean, the further north you go, the nicer areas. Like Frisco is an expensive town to live in.
Yeah.
When it comes to like taxes and stuff,
Okay.
it goes up every year, and like the county it's in called Collin County, and then like right up next to it is Denton County. So like we lived in Collin County for 8 years, but you know we were renting, so we didn't really feel the effects of like the taxes and shit. But then when we bought our house, you know, everyone's like, "You want to go to the Denton, not the Collin, because you'll be paying crazy taxes," and they were right.
Fuck that.
That's nuts. Makes you miss Lubbock a little bit more.
Yeah.
For real, yeah.
I'm one of the few that love it here, dude.
Yeah. When I was reading that, and I love Lubbock too, man. You know, when I was a kid, I wanted to move, and I think I moved away for like 4 months to the Dallas area with my dad. He became like the general manager at a Taco Bell, but we were living in a Super 8 hotel, bro.
For real?
For real, bro. And it was right after high school, man. And man, God rest my dad's soul. But yeah, he moved down there and tried to do something different, and I just missed home, bro. So
When we visited him for that week, he lived in Oak Cliff, didn't he?
yeah, that was
an apartment.
so when we first moved down there, we lived in the Super 8 motels for like two months, bro, literally. And I'd go to like Six Flags every day with my little sisters. But yeah, when I came back and when we went back up there, he had a decent hotel. But yeah, Oak Cliff, bro. I mean, he had a nice little
It was
apartment.
hood as fuck.
It was, bro.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it back then. I'm happy to see my dad and JP's like, where in the fuck are we at?
Well, I wasn't scared.
Yeah.
Every block was like a mom and pop's fucking restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
And it
was
dude,
good, yeah.
we fucking
It was
ate
good.
like
You get
kings
good
over
food
there.
out there.
Yeah.
Really good food.
That's what I missed about that. Oh yeah, old school.
This shit was good. Yeah.
But that's weird too, though, because like in the Oak Cliff area, like one block would be like straight hood, and then the next block would be like badass $1 million houses.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
In Oak Cliff? Damn, I didn't know that. Are they still pretty good in football?
Oh yeah, they went to. I think that South
They
Oak
won
Cliff
state,
State again this year.
I think so.
Yeah, they went, bro. And Duncanville finally got him one, bro. Duncanville's like he's been to the finals like 5 years, and he finally won.
got it.
I don't know if you watched it a few years ago. I watched high school football because my brother, but in the finals they played North Shore, I think, and it was a Hail Mary to end the game, and that's how they beat Dun. And I felt like shit for Duncanville, bro, because they're celebrating. That dude threw like a 40-yard pass. Snagged it.
We were at that that place you took us to. They got all kinds of fucking places to eat.
Oh, Legacy Hall?
We
maybe?
were there at that game.
Oh no!
Oh,
shit.
really?
Remember they had it outside?
Oh, yeah.
And we were like, no fucking way. A Hail Mary
Yep.
just won that game.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So when they show the highlights, I was like, there was no way that was going to happen. But yeah, to see, Duncanville's basketball, their women's and guys, bro, they're like state champs or always in the finals. So Duncanville's blown up in their sports, and I have family that lives there, and they'll tell you, a lot of that area's hood.
So what do y'all think about the trade-off that we just did? The trade-off for a good football team for a bad basketball team.
Don't even get me started, man.
Bring back beard, no, just,
Dude, I cannot watch
It's a
their
sport.
fucking games.
it's
Like
it's
it'll
unfortunate,
ruin
bro.
my day. It gives
Yeah.
me anxiety. Gives me a heart attack. So I just don't watch them.
And I always try to look for the good and optimistic or whatever. And I man, they're missing it, And then I watched Shannon Jr. with Illinois.
They've got
and-
no one to take over the team as a
we
leader,
don't have
and they got no hustle. And then Papa Isaac is supposedly this badass dude, but fuck, when you're taking half court free throws, I mean 3-pointers every fucking time.
And if, with that is because I bet I can only imagine that he feels the pressure of having to do that. If he had a scorer, like you said, someone that can just take the load off. Last year we had O'Bannon do it, but that's not his game. So
and he's a punk too, man. He should be way dominant.
I mean,
yeah, it's unfortunate, man. I love Tech. You know, we go back. We used to go to the games and stuff, and I hope to a turnaround. But yeah.
But on the trade off, I don't. Do you remember ever a top 25 recruiting class for football? I don't.
Oh, not at all.
I like McGuire. I really do.
Yeah.
Something about him.
He might be the answer. We might need a new offensive coordinator because them play calls were horrible. But I mean, I think this coach might be the answer.
Yeah, but it's their first year too, so you gotta think about they gotta start to gel together. So maybe the second year around, the offense would be a little bit more dynamic.
And I know we lost.
The defense is cold though. The defense, oh my god.
Yeah.
Some of the games I watched, I was like, is that Tech defense?
Dude, how did Reggie go to fucking Oklahoma, bro?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
That blew my mind.
They had to give him a nice little penny or something. I don't know.
They had to because he kicked their ass.
Exactly.
He beat the dog shit out of him when we played him.
But he was a leader in our fucking defense, and it was a monster, like you said. Like what? When did we get a defense?
It's kind of like McCullough to us. I know. He wasn't the greatest for us, but you see what he does for Kansas. That defense. And it's like God, it stings when they do leave to go to a rival. I like to see what McGuire puts in there now that he got his guys that he's recruiting, and I like to see it. But I would say I know we're losing our receivers coach, and we have an old Tech receiver. I don't know if you remember Joel Filani.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I remember they used to call him the.
He's a coach, right?
Yeah, at Leveland.
I thought he was a Tech coach.
He's not a Tech no more?
No, he's a high school coach, head coach at Leveland. And if I'm not mistaken, because I follow that Jason Pearson.
I thought we brought him on, did we?
Yeah.
Did y'all bring him on?
I thought Tech brought him on.
I thought so.
They may have. Oh, well, recently?
I don't know, man.
Because if that's the case, because I saw his Insta or Facebook, whatever, and he put the eye emojis. So I was hoping that that's what I brought it up, because I remember when he played at Tech, they were called.
He was a bad motherfucker.
He would call him the America's favorite receiving offense or something, and they called them Afros. I remember that commercial, bro. Yes, I always think about because it was him. I can't remember the receivers at the time, but we had the best receivers because our high octane offense.
I don't think it hurt us much because that receivers coach Emmett Jones, he's always traveling up and down. He went to Kansas whenever Cliff got fired, and then he came back whenever. I don't know if he came back when Joey got hired or whenever.
I think Joey brought him.
I can't even lie and tell you that I followed because I didn't know who the fuck he was.
Yeah, I just recently read up on. Yeah, I don't think he will. Hopefully he'll do something.
We hired his replacement the next fucking day from Baylor, right?
Yeah.
One of McGuire's guys. Yeah.
But do y'all remember? It was the Nelly video, right, where they were wearing a Cliff Kingsbury jersey.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was the St. Lunatics?
Yeah, one of the St. Lunatics. Yeah, I remember that. I forgot.
They
but
fucking
now,
had a Cliff Kingsbury jersey on in the video.
I always like when I hear stuff about Lubbock and Tech, when I'm away. Yeah. There's some movie that's out right now. It's on Hulu or something, and it's about this guy who messed around with this girl and then she ended up dying. Mm-hmm. So he has to go to West Texas to figure out what's going on. Yeah. And they're at this rodeo and they're like, "Who here likes Texas?" And he's like, yeah. They're just looking at him, and then it's who likes Texas Tech? And everyone's like, yeah. And he's just
and that's out already?
Yeah, it's out.
I wanted to see that in the theaters.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
It's that fucker from The Office, right?
Yeah. That's him.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly.
But I just thought that was hilarious.
So it's on Hulu?
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Lubbock too, man. Like you said, when you hear things, and it's funny you brought that up earlier because the last couple of days I was on my La Bamba trip, man, watching it and watching videos and listening to the music, and it kind of led me to the whole Buddy Holly. And I was thinking about it. I was like, man,
You're thinking about the Big Bopper?
Yeah, the Big Bopper.
Bob Bopper.
But I was thinking, I was like, as we've gotten older, that was only maybe 30 years when in the 80s, 59 they crashed. So it was still fairly new for us. So we were taught about it, and we had some history. We kind of respected, hey, Lubbock, Buddy Holly.
Yeah.
I know with his wife's situation, we weren't able to celebrate as much, but this younger generation kind of doesn't, they could care less who the fuck Buddy Holly is, bro, and what happened back then. So just watching that kind of brought back, when Bob in the movie is like, Lubbock, Texas? I'm like,
if I'm not mistaken, isn't there no Beatles without Buddy Holly?
Paul McCartney said that many times, bro. And dude, us going to Lubbock High, Buddy Holly went to the same school. You know, I used to, and then not only
Pissed
that,
in the same urinals.
probably whacked it off.
Yeah, right.
He went skiing with the crickets.
hooking up upstairs in the balcony. Who was it that they was
In the bell tower?
Yeah, well, not in the bell
Oh,
tower.
I remember that.
In the theater, they didn't have like an upper level, and someone was like
Oh,
up
yeah,
there, like
somebody said they were
smashing up there.
fucking.
Yeah,
I don't remember it.
It's like, why do you go to school to fuck? You do that after school.
Yeah, do it in the morning or after. Do it in the morning.
I got strict parents.
Can I borrow your car, bro? But yeah, nostalgic of Lubbock, man. I kind of.
Who was that chick that killed herself in that dude's
Jasmine?
car?
Was her name Jasmine?
Jasmine was her
I remember
name?
because she sat next to me.
She dressed all badass.
She sat next to me the day she killed herself.
Yeah,
So she had the gun that she killed herself with was in her backpack next to me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I had the class with her.
fuck.
And then like the next day, they're like, oh shit, did y'all hear about Jasmine? I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, she killed herself. And the dude that sat in front of me was this like weird, like creepy white dude. And I guess he was real cool. I think maybe he had a crush on her.
Yeah.
But he took that shit hard. That dude was like trying to stab himself with a
Yeah,
pin.
a couple.
I was like, damn, bro.
Because I want to kill my mom.
Yeah, he like broke his pin in half and he was like trying to stab himself. I was like, what are you doing? He was so
cut
upset.
my life in. Hey, bro, calm down, bro. No.
It's okay. The song ain't even out yet. She's my first and my last.
He was the
now.
inspiration. Yeah, I remember that because I had to go
Calm
back.
down, bro. She didn't even know who you were.
There's like 1,000 other girls that go to this school.
She didn't know you, bro. Calm down.
She told me she didn't like you. You were weird. She
said you were weird.
Yeah, I remember I had went back to the campus because I was on the wrestling team. I had to go take care of some grades or some shit, and I was walking home, and at the time I could have sworn I heard it was like a about pop. And so it was the next day. I remember coming back, and they said, "Yeah, she went to Matt." Remember, it was one of the football players.
Yeah, it was in his car.
And she went into his little truck, and I was like, "Dude." And she was real pretty. I remember when I'd see her around, I was like, man, she's going. She dressed all nice and shit. And
I remember walking
She could
into
hoop.
class.
She was a ball player.
Yeah, she was a baller, right?
Yeah, right. She could hoop.
I remember walking into school from powerlifting practice because we had to go at like 6 a.m.
yeah,
So we walked in because we always went to Burger King, ate breakfast, and then went to school. And everybody's like crying and sad, and I'm like, "Who fucking died?" Playing.
Playing around.
And they were like, "So and so killed herself." I was like, "Oh shit, someone did die." Like, my bad.
Yeah, that's a crazy time. Funny thing, it's kind of off subject, but the other night I was like laying in bed because I couldn't sleep. I took my pre-workout late and shit, so I was like,
Gotta rub it out, bro.
thinking about shit.
You just gotta rub it out.
Yeah. Well, I was in the bed with my
Start some
wife, so I couldn't
socks.
do it. And my dog's there
Just
with
make
us
sure
too.
she's asleep. You're
Hey,
good.
you asleep?
All right.
you tell the dogs, "Hey,
Don't be looking at me.
I got restless legs, babe.
My legs moving fast. But I was thinking about the time when we were there was this girl that I met at Lubbock High, and I thought she was like fine as hell. Like her name was Teresa. Remember her?
Teresa. I only remember
I forgot her
one
last
Teresa.
name, but she was like she
And
was
it's
fine.
not the
Like
one that you're
I was
talking
sitting in
about.
class and she walked in, and I was like, "Who is that?" And you probably know who she is.
I think I do."
And so I just like, if there's certain girls that I think are like really hot, I'm gonna go talk to them.
Yeah.
So I just got up and talked to her. I said, "Hey, blah 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 blah. Here's my number." She's like, "Oh, okay." And so she called me or whatever. So fast forward to a few weeks later or whatever, we're going somewhere, and she wanted to go with me and you. So we went in your blazer, your little blazer.
Yeah.
And when we were coming back, we were dropping her off at her house, and she was sitting like in the back seat between us, and she was like sitting close, and you're like, "Where's your house at?" She's like, "It's right here," and you like slammed the brakes, and her face like smashed against the back of your
that
chair.
sounds like JP.
And I was like, "Oh my!" I was like, "You're all right?" She said, "Yeah." So she got off, and then when we took off, me and you were just like laughing her ass, because her lipstick was like smeared and shit. Where,
I could.
oh, dude, I came across my mind. I was like, "Oh shit!" Because I was trying to be cool about it or whatever, because I was trying to like talk to her or whatever. And fucking JP's are and like.
Dude, I don't remember.
Dude,
that
she like
at all.
busted her face like right on the back of your seat. It
Do
was
you
hilarious.
do you remember your next door neighbor sold drugs?
Oh,
I do.
His next door neighbor sold drugs, dude. I mean, it was
Obvious.
it's fucking obvious, right? So it's like what I'm picking you up every morning at 7:30.
You're such an asshole, man.
At 7:30,
Fucking
dude,
JP.
I'm like, "Brr, brr, brr."
oh no, not just at 7:30. Not just at 7:30. Anytime
yeah.
you pick me up. Baby. My mom's like, "What the hell's wrong with your friend?" I was like, "Nah, he's in a hurry, I guess."
He's all honking on the way.
Yeah.
So it's probably like fucking a week of this, dude. And the dude fucking comes and he opens the fucking front door and he's all pissed off and he looks at me like that. And I'm looking at him and I go,
JP was a menace in that damn gym.
Mini.
We used to. I remember in high school during lunch break, your parking was where the cheerleaders were.
Yeah.
And
in the gym parking.
And you would get tired of waiting in line, so that one day you're just like, you know what, fuck it, and we just cut through the line and jump the curb, and here we go, we're off. He would always jump the curbs though, like he didn't give no fucks. He was like, fuck it.
Oh yeah, jamming out to Usher.
I forgot about that, dude. Yeah, because I'd be waiting in line like, fuck this, and fucking boom, 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 man, we're gone.
And seriously, like I felt like so bad for you whenever like your tires got slashed and someone broke into your I mean, because you worked your ass off to get that shit. I remember because you got me a job with that place too, and
that's
I worked there one fucking day. I was like, how is he doing this?
Yo, fuck this, I'm out. Yeah,
this is some Mexican work, you know. This is some straight, like
this fucker guy. He pissed me off, bro. It's a Saturday and it's slam. Every fucking Saturday there was fucking slammed.
Where
right?
were y'all working at?
And I finally got a day shift. So I didn't have to close. It was him because he was the new guy. Yeah. So I'm calling him and I'm like, bro, like you're like 20 minutes late, dude. He was all, I quit. I go, like, bro, just come in so I can leave and then quit. And he was like, nah, bro, I quit. I was like, fuck.
Yeah. I give you mad props for that, dude, because that shit was like some manual ass labor, and they were always busy. Just like, what's the name? Don Pablo's. Is
Don
that what
Pablo's.
It was?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot y'all worked there.
He worked there like all summer.
He tried to get me. I was probably like, I would see. You were smart. You're like, one day I was like, nah, I ain't go. I'd lead him on. Like, yeah, put my application in. I was like, fuck that. Yeah, I forgot y'all worked there. Dude.
Well, funny little story. The day I did work there, the one day I did work, we were back there and we were slammed or whatever, and it was me, JP, and Bert.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know who Bert is?
Placentia. Yeah.
So we were there fucking around and we're hungry or whatever, and so I see Bert. He like looks, and a piece of fajita meat falls on the ground, and he grabs another piece of fajita meat and he starts eating it, and JP sees him. And he's like, hey, give me some of that fajita meat. And so he picks up the one from the ground and gives it to JP. JP eats it. I was like, bro. I was like, he gave you that shit from the ground. You're like, JP was like, oh, yeah? Okay. So he goes and grabs a piece of fajita meat and sticks the meat like in the pad. They had like these like rubber pads so you wouldn't slip and fall.
Yeah. Oh, the grease. Oh, yeah.
And there was like circles. Yeah. And there's grease all in the circles. JP stuck it in there, rubbed it around. So the grease is all on that fucking meat. And he gives it to Bert. Bert's like, oh, thanks, man. Thanks, bro.
You're a bitch.
I was like, yeah, he got him back like really good. And that was hilarious.
Next time you make steak at the house, I'm gonna make sure I'm on your good side.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna watch you cut that.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch you cut it.
Do you remember your grandma's next door neighbor, Greg?
I was thinking about that too. That dude was so chill.
Yeah, dude.
He was the chillest dude I ever met. But a buddy of mine that lived down the street from them, my buddy Craig, remember him?
Oh yeah, Craig.
Well, we all would kick it.
He was just talking about Craig Lyra.
Yeah, shout out Craig.
Yeah, like me and him we were like really tight at one point because I was always at my grandma's house. He lived like a few houses down, so we would always like hang out, play baseball, ride bikes, shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I meet this guy Greg, and he invites me over one night. He's like, "Hey, come on over. We're gonna drink some beers, hang out." It's all right. So I went over there, and then we just like clicked. So then, like, we started hanging out with, friends and whatnot. So anyways, I guess, like, Craig went to his house one day, and I guess he had some shit with him or something, but I wasn't there. I just heard the story that Craig had brought, like, some food with him, and he had a puppy, and he brought him inside Greg's house.
Greg's house?
Yeah, and I guess he didn't give a shit, and the dog was, like, pissing on the floor and shit.
What the fuck?
And they said Greg put hands on Craig, like,
he was a big boy.
Yeah. So I can only imagine like the carnage he left there. But yeah, he laid some hands on that dude, and I was like, holy shit! Like, I wouldn't expect that from him because he was such a laid back, like chill ass dude. But I guess
we were all tech students, but Chris didn't go to school, right?
Okay.
But this dude, Greg. It's safe to say he was at least like 400 pounds, right?
Oh,
or
yeah.
pretty close to it.
Big ass dude.
Okay.
This fucker would use his student ID to get into the tech games with us.
Yeah.
Y'all lost weight.
Yeah.
Congratulate me, goddamn.
Yeah. It was hilarious. They didn't give a shit.
You're not gonna say thank you for my hard work.
I'm suing you, goddamn.
They did not care.
That's legendary shit, though. Dude.
Yeah. He gave me his thing and use it. And
That's badass.
funny you bring that up because I remember that one time we went to that. It was Tech and UT, and that's when UT had Vince Young and Cedric Benson.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so we knew we were going to get our ass kicked, but we still went to it. So we're all waiting in line to get in the student section, and then before we went, we're at your house, and you had this flask. It was a plastic.
Oh, that
flask.
plastic flask.
Big ass fucking plastic flask. It was probably like this tall, dude. I don't know where the hell you're gonna hide that. Like, he's like, hey, put this in your pocket. And I was like, in your balls. I have fucking cargo shorts on. I go, I don't know. He's like, yeah, it fits in your pocket right there. So I put it in my pocket. We're going like through the line, and we get in, swipe the card, whatever, walk in, and the cop looks there's a cop like right there. He looks at me. He's like, come over here, sir. He's like, let me see your ID. So I show him my ID. He's like, all right, what's in your pocket? I was like, God damn it. So I pull it out, and it's a big-ass flask full of I don't know what kind of fucking shit. And he's like, what's in here? I was like, man, you know what's in there.
It's Pedialyte.
Yeah.
Sir.
He's like, go throw that shit away. He goes, don't be bringing that in here. I was like, all right. So I went through it, and I was like, fucking JP got me. I thought I was going to get arrested or something.
I was already saving our seats.
Yeah.
You're all excited. I'm ready to drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, Chris, what happened?
Yeah. I was like, God damn it, JP.
Nah, man. Now I still take flasks in the fucking games, man. It's so much cheaper to take my own fucking bourbon in the games.
Well,
dude.
even before I talked to you in a long time, I would see post or see people tailgating, and I was like, you were already fucked up,
Oh,
like
yeah,
11
dude.
o'clock in the morning.
Bro.
And you made me proud, though. I was like, oh, memories. But yeah, I would see people posting, like, if you want to have a tailgate experience, somebody had tagged you, and then this is like 4 or 5 years
Bro,
ago.
my wife hates me.
Does she?
I will fucking trade if I gotta work Christmas to get off on a fucking tech game, I'll do it. I'll trade here.
worth it.
Like, here, dude, I'll
Priorities.
give you my holiday.
That one year, the 08 year, when we were like pretty badass,
Oh, yeah.
we did some fucking legendary tailgating, like over at Mike's spot. We used to get so damn drunk before the game,
and all of
and
our
sober up
games
during the game, and then come back at halftime
Round
and
two.
get fucked up again.
And all of our games were night games, so
Yeah,
we
they
had
were.
all day to get fucked
I
up.
missed one of my good friends. She was getting married, and I had tickets to the Nebraska game when Nebraska was in the Big 12.
Yeah.
And I was like, when's your wedding? And she was like, oh, it's on Saturday. Blah, blah. I was like, it's during football season? She was like, yeah. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, no.
I was like, I'll try and make it. No way. We went to Nebraska.
Dude, I'll
game,
miss my own
unfortunately.
fucking funeral if it's on a
Yeah,
tech game.
damn right, man.
And we were like
real, bro.
so wasted. We would smoke so many cigarettes. I think about it, I'm like, how did I fucking smoke cigarettes?
Dude,
we
get
would
him-
smoke pack after pack of cigarettes, drink shots, get so like, oh, I don't know. I remember me and my
And then be fine after the game.
Yeah. And the funny
To
story,
go out.
that year,
Round 3.
08 was the year that we beat Texas, and they were number 1.
Yeah.
We were like number 6 or something like that.
Crabtree? Yeah.
Well, our tickets that me and my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time, but she's my wife now. All the tickets we got were from her dad, because her dad was an executive chef at the Holiday Inn.
Oh,
And
yeah, I
all
forgot about that.
all the
Yeah.
visiting coaches, they would give him tickets, shirts and shit.
That's badass,
So
yeah.
Mac Brown gave him tickets. He's like, I'm not gonna go to this game. He's like, so he'd give them to us, and so, but we had to meet him. And that day we were getting fucked up. Like, we were taking shots. I remember-
Mac Brown gave him tickets?
was that Mac Brown, their old coach?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Holy
he gave
shit.
him tickets. He gave him a Texas polo, a Nike Texas. Like, they would give him shit because he would, he did a badass
You
job.
take care of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
you
he took care of
yeah.
him. He didn't care about schools or whatever. He cared about, cooking good food. So he had those tickets, and he's like, yeah, come and get them. And it was game day. We were already been tailgating, been drinking. So me and my wife, we go get the tickets, and coming back, we just get into an argument. Like, just a random ass argument.
Oh,
And
those are the
she's,
worst.
Like, she kind of like was kind of
Especially after a whole day of
Yeah, we were
drinking.
drinking
Just the littlest shit turns
beer.
into...
And like, we almost didn't go to that game. We got into such a bad argument. We stopped at my grandma's house, and my grandma and my mom were there just chilling. And we walk in just like yelling at each other. Like, they've never seen me like that way, like that aggressive and so mean. And I was just yelling. I was like, get the fuck out of here, blah blah. We're just like at each other's neck. And then like I went towards the kitchen, and my mom's like, trying to calm me down and stuff. And, we kind of like. We kind of cooled off a little bit, and then I was looking at her. I was like, "You still want to go to the game?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, let's get the fuck out of here. So we left, went back to the game.
That's
whatever.
day drinking for you.
Yeah. And then the next day I went back because I felt
His
so
mom
bad.
made him all hot chocolate.
Yeah, I felt so bad because
Thanks, Mom.
neither my mom or my grandma have ever seen me in that
Yeah.
like drunk,
Right,
And,
so
like,
that probably-
belligerent and
Yeah.
cussing and stuff like
Neither
that.
has my mom.
So I felt really ashamed. Like I went and apologized the next day. I apologized. I was like, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for you to see that, but that's what fucking tequila does to you.
Yeah, and that happens, especially when you're not expecting it, but it slaps you in the face. Some other people don't learn from it. Some people are like, they fuck up and continue to fuck it up. So definitely, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, that was some good time for tailgating.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like I don't know if you ever met that guy, Mike.
No, I don't think.
But it was what was his last name? What was Mike's last name? Mike Romero.
No, okay, yeah, I've seen where I would follow y'all through Facebook and shit like that. And when I was going first, that was what you said about 8 years ago or 2000.
It was in like 08, 09.
Okay, so yeah,
even 07 too.
Okay, yeah, I don't know him personally, but yeah, I would see JP posting all sorts of barbecuing and all sorts of, and I would always tell him I need to go by, and he'd always invite me. But man, when I was younger and going through my, I don't know what the fuck, depression or whatever, I wanted to get out so much, but I'd stay home and I would stay, the outside looking in. I know there's probably people out there that's gone through that where, they want to get out and you don't realize it's like that anxiety or whatever you're going through. But I would see like JP post shit and getting shit faced crazy, man. And I was like, dude, one day I'm gonna get there. So what was it? About a month ago, he invited me on. He was it's full circle.
Yeah.
I was like, it's been 20 years, but even seeing you pull up, bro, I was like, dude, you look like awesome. You haven't aged. You just blew up, man.
I'm feeling it, bro. Like
I feel you too.
I've been like sick these past few days, like with allergies and stuff. Because over there in the DFW, like we get a lot of like mountain cedar.
Okay.
And that would mess up a lot of people. And the funny thing is
Californians brought it.
It must have been. It must have been.
Damn Cali.
But before I moved there, like my allergies were bad here in Lubbock.
Yeah.
Like I would always sneeze like crazy, sneeze, and my nose would like bleed because my sinuses were so dry out and shit.
I still have that problem.
And when I moved over there, I was fine. I was loving it. People were at work were like, how are your allergies not going crazy today? And I was like, because I've been in a place where fucking allergies are insane.
Exactly.
So we would so I was fine, and then like now all of a sudden I'm like starting to feel it. So I've been like kind of sick these past few days from like all of.
And there's a little bug going around like pollen. My daughter has bad. I had to take her to the emergency room a few days ago. She has allergic reactions, and it looked like I punched her in her face. She's swollen, and she's all taking pictures. But she's lazy as shit. She's like, I'm gonna use this so I don't have to go to work because you don't get paid for it being sick. But allergies, man. You gotta take care of yourself here in West Texas, man.
Yeah. So I've been like medicating it up and stuff, and so it's been like affecting my sleep. So I'm like, I wake up, I'm like, my eyes are all black and shit. I'm like, damn, I look old as fuck. Seriously, like, fuck, I'm getting old.
I hate Lubbock again.
No wonder I left this piece of shit.
Funny thing about like before I moved over there, when my allergies were acting up, I remember this one particular time I was getting ready for work, and my nose started bleeding. So I was like, fuck. And so I just grabbed some toilet paper. I just stuck it up my nose, got in the car, booked it over to work. A couple days later, I go to my grandma's house, and one of my uncles is there, and he's like, hey, I saw you the other day. I was like, oh, yeah. He goes, I didn't know you smoked. I was like, smoked? I was like, I was smoking in my car. And he was like, yeah, you had a cigarette in your mouth. I was like, bro, that wasn't a cigarette. That was fucking toilet paper. I was like, maybe a tampon. Maybe like a tampon, but it wasn't no damn cigarette.
So were you smoking a joint?
Yeah, I was like, oh, no, sir.
We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, you got to tell us your Abner story.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
All right, man. We'll take a break.
Yeah.
Oh, it's you again. This episode is brought to you by Patriot Paint and Construction. They specialize in commercial and residential. They also specialize in drywall and paint. No job is too big or too small for them. Hit them up at 806-544-7199.
Day drinking with JP and Chris.
After night drinking,
I know.
with the same
we just took a couple hours break. I'm all talking to the microphone. All right, cool.
And we're back. All right, man.
Hola.
I know you're not lying. You've stated you told me this story, but I don't fucking remember it. So to me, it's gonna be like the first time I'm hearing it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. The funny thing is
the JP Lopez exclusive.
Oh yeah, you hear it first. Yeah. Well, when I was listening to an episode of the Pendejos and I heard him mention Abner, I was like, did they just mention Abner? And then Ramos was talking about it again, making making fun of his name and shit. I was like, oh damn. So
and then when we bring it up on my shit,
I was like, okay, now when I get on the show, I gotta tell a story. Okay, so my parents, they divorced when I was like in the 3rd grade, and the reason they divorced was because my dad was fucking around. Well, it turned out the woman he was fucking around with was Abner's younger sister.
Oh shit.
no shit.
I don't remember her name. I just remember my mom calling her the tramp.
Yeah.
So anytime she referred to her as a tramp,
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh, the tramp. Your dad's probably with the tramp or whatever." So that's why I thought her name was the tramp. And turns out, she was the younger sister of him. So fast forward a little couple more years, I'm a little older, and we're watching the news, and he's on there. And my mom's like, "Oh, look, there's your Theo." And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, that's your Theo, Abner." And I was like, "That's not my fucking Theo." So I grew up a little older, and I would just like kind of fuck around, and be like, "Oh yeah, that's my Theo or whatever."
Theo.
Okay, so I'm in my early 20s, and this girl I'm seeing, she works for the news station. She's a producer for like the evening show.
Yeah. Okay.
And so she knows Abner. And one night she invites me to Fox and the Hound to go drink or whatever. She's like, "Yeah, some people from work are gonna be there." And I was like, "All right, I'll go, whatever." So I go, and he's there, and he fucking knows who I am. Like, he's just like, "Oh, hey, like can't see me in forever. Like, we're the best of friends." Like he's like, he is my Theo.
He's like, "Hey, nephew,
Yeah.
you're all fucking. I'll play it."
My fucking Theo.
Hey, my Theo's got my tab.
Yeah. Take care of that.
Another woodchuck.
Yeah. So when y'all brought that up, I just couldn't stop laughing. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's my Theo." But he's not really my Theo. Fuck that. But
My Theo, that's
Yeah.
badass though.
Being Chabner.
Theo Abner.
So if you're listening to this, it's Wednesday. Hopefully by the weekend I'm gonna have my my Abner shirts ready for sale.
Oh,
nice.
And it's still a toss up into. I think I'm just gonna have to do the shirt without his picture,
Yeah.
just because I don't know if
copyright and then
Legal
shit,
just legal shit.
And
Because
you're
I'm
doing
just
it-
a slapdick that can't even afford a fucking lawyer.
and you're
so
just
hell no.
you're doing it in a fun gesture.
Yeah.
So, but I think whatever you do, I support it. I'm down. I'll
So
buy
yeah,
2 of them.
the
Put me down.
Todo Jornal shirts will be out
Yeah.
hopefully by next weekend. Yeah.
I've heard all of y'all stories, dude. And my mom's, my mom, she's a country white girl. She used to go out to those bars, Coco Inn and wherever. And she would tell me
Yeah.
she knew him. She went to high school with Abner. But my mom, when she drank, she was one of those, she was deaf in one ear, so she really couldn't hear. So she'd, huh? All the time, bro. Huh? And she'd say, so I guess he thought she was kind of weird one day. And my mom's the nicest. She don't cuss unless you piss her the hell off. But she told me that one time, I guess he was trying to be rude to her and like, get away. And she's like, "Don't fuck with me." And so y'all said, I was like, dude, I tell my mom all the time, he was a nice guy. I was like, but back then she's like, "Don't fuck with me." But yeah, she's all, huh? Tommy, my son. Shout out to my mom. She's country.
Yeah. Shout out to your mom. Shout out to Abner.
Abner. Theo Abner.
Theo Abner. That's my Theo. Yeah,
I
that's
knew you were famous, Chris. I knew it.
like I got famous family out
You
there.
fucking got your royalty, man.
Yeah.
Royalty. West Texas royalty.
Yeah, Lubbock News Channel 11 royalty.
He
I
let you
think
get
I
a
did,
crack at Karen McKay.
Oh, yeah.
Karen McKay.
You could have hooked me up with Karen, bro.
Who was the hot one on there?
Karen. Or Sharon?
Fuck.
Not Sharon Mann.
Sharon Manson.
Like when we were younger?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Was there ever? I mean, like, well, maybe not when we were younger, but like when we were like in our 20s.
There's a couple of them.
There was like
There was a couple, but they don't come to mind.
I'm trying to think because
what's
there was one chick that was on there that she was like a producer too, or a junior producer, and she was pretty hot. And my girlfriend at the time, she worked with her, and she didn't like her for shit.
yeah, huh.
Like she introduced me one time at this party, and she's like, "Oh, I don't like her." I was like, "Why?" She's nice.
Yeah.
And she was like, "I just don't like
There
her."
was one
You
chick.
should have had a cafe.
There's one chick that was there when your girlfriend was there, and she's still there, and she's still a cochina.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Can you send me her info,
She
please?
changed. She morphed because when I met her,
Yeah, she was a big bitch.
She was
Yeah.
big and yeah. And what's messed up too is like I remember this one time we went out and had drinks and she had this boyfriend, a little scrub ass dude or whatever, but he was cool as shit. And she was always like fucking around on him, and I felt so bad for that
Yeah.
dude. But I mean, I couldn't say nothing. But yeah, I felt so bad. Like
I became that dude.
yeah. And then,
A long time ago.
She started losing that weight and
Well-
she leveled up.
Yeah.
Hey man, to each their own.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
she's still a cochina.
I can
nice.
imagine. Yeah.
Old habits die hard.
There's some stuff I've seen and heard, so yeah.
Old habits die hard.
Ain't that the true shit?
So, I'll just ask you, man, what's your favorite feel good memory, bro?
My favorite feel good memory. It's a long story, so I'll try to like keep it short. But long story short, short. The story is, Like in 2021, my wife and I both had COVID, so it was still kind of somewhat new, you know. And she got it like really bad.
That's
like,
the first time y'all ever
yeah,
got
the first
COVID.
time.
First time
And,
always sucked. Yeah.
And she got it really bad. Like she had to go to the hospital, and she was there for like almost 3 weeks, and that was like the scariest time for me because like you know we hadn't been married that long. We had just moved into our house, and it just happened like just like that. Like one day she's like, "Hey, I need to go to the emergency room because I can't breathe." When we both had it, we stayed like in separate rooms so we could sleep. Well, I guess one night she got up to use the restroom and she passed out.
Oh shit.
Yeah, she passed out, and then the next morning I woke up and she was sitting in the living room just chilling. And that's when she was like, "Yeah, I think I need to go to the emergency room because I couldn't breathe and I passed out." And I was like, "Oh shit!" So I was like, "Yeah, let's go." So we went. I took her, and they like just did this little test. Like they walk around with you, and they check your oxygen.
Your
level.
oxygen.
And it was like they're like, "Yeah, we need to get her in." So she was there for like like 3 weeks, and the whole time, you know, you couldn't go into the hospital.
All them
You couldn't do
fucking
shit.
restrictions, man.
And I was like, I was so pissed, and I was like, if
Yeah.
God forbid something happens to her, there's no way in hell that they're gonna like keep me from seeing her.
Yeah.
Because I would see like stories where people were like, "Yeah, I took my dad in, or I took my wife in, or my husband in, and he died. I didn't even get to say
and
goodbye
they
to him."
died by
Yeah.
themselves.
So I was like, "You're gonna have to put my ass in jail because I will fucking fight my way through to see my wife before
Yeah.
that shit happens."
Second that.
So that scared the shit out of me, and every day like they had to increase her oxygen intake, and they went from like small to big, and they got to a point where they were like, "Well, if we have to increase it again, we're gonna have to put her on one of those ventilators." And I was like, "I know if they put you on a ventilator, that's pretty much
Yeah.
signed, sealed, delivered. Your ass is, you're
That's
gone."
it. Yeah.
So I was like, "Fuck!" And I talked to her doctor. I stayed on them. Like I was calling nonstop, getting updates from the nurses, the doctors, and I know they were busy as hell, but I was like, "No,
Yeah.
you're gonna keep me informed, and you're gonna let me know what's going on." And so I talked to one of her doctors, and he was like, "Well," he goes, "we can put her on a ventilator, or there's this dosage or this injections that we can give her."
The drug.
Yeah, it's a drug, and it's a 2-day drug. Like it takes 2 days to get it all in your system. He's like, "We can do that." He goes, "And it has like an 80% chance that she'll recover." And so he's like, "Do you want to do it?" And I was like, "Well, that's not my call." I was like, "Let me get with my wife and
That's tough.
we'll discuss it." Because
That's
I'm like,
tough
I know
for
I
you.
can't make that call for her. What if it kills her?
Yeah.
So I told her, I was like, what do you want to do? I was like, she's like, "Yeah, get me out of here." She's like, "Just get me out of here." So I was like, "All right, cool." So I told him, I was like, "Do it." So yeah, they put like I don't know what it's called, some kind of pick in her arm, and they did the infusion. And it took like 2 days to do both infusions. And then sure enough, like after that, like the doctor's like, "Yeah, she's responding really well to the infusion."
Damn.
Amen to
So
that. Yeah.
that,
That's crazy, brother.
That helped her like greatly, and so like her oxygen levels were getting back to normal and whatnot. So at the whole time that she's in the hospital, it's just me and our little dog, our little Yorkie there. So we're just kind of keeping each other company and shit. And he's a funny little animal. He's just like, he's always like, one of us is gone, he's like depressed and won't do shit.
That's
Oh,
his
yeah.
baby. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was like, I had to do things to like get him moving and stuff, but we were just there. So I tried to find things to like keep my mind occupied, because I was out of work too. Because like we go like they would like keep you out from work.
Yeah.
So I was at home, clean like every day. I would clean a room, do stuff with the lawn, take my dog for walks. Couldn't go to the gym because I was still testing positive.
You can only do so much before you go
yeah,
insane.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was
seriously,
watching
man.
movies and shit, and I would text you, and you gave me a lot of words of encouragement and stuff like that. And that's one thing I appreciate a lot.
We prayed hard for her, dude.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that was
like we prayed real hard for her. It was scary, man.
it was scary as hell.
As I'm going based on your word, and you were like, "Dude, she might be on a ventilator," and I was like, "Fuck, man."
Yeah. That was a scary moment, but my feel good memory is the day she called me that she can go home. It was like on a Sunday. I was watching football, and she's like, "Hey, come get me." I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, come get me." And I was like, fucking booked it over to the hospital.
That's badass, dude.
They still had her like on a breathing machine
Mm-hmm.
because she had to like pretty much just like reteach her lungs
learn
how
how to do it again.
Yeah. So we pull up to the house, and I was like, "Stay here real quick. I'm gonna go let our dog's name is Monty." I was like, "I'm gonna go let Monty out, and we're gonna surprise him." because he couldn't wait to see her. So
yeah.
I let him out in the backyard, close the door, go get her, put her in the bed, and then I opened the door, and he knew she was already there.
He smelled her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as he came in, boom, he booked it to the bedroom, and he was like all over her, and
That's cool,
and that
bro.
was I would have to say that's my all-time favorite feel good.
That's a fucking badass
Amen
feeling,
to that, bro.
Because
That's beautiful, yeah.
God was on our side, our family, our friends, everybody was praying, and yeah, that was a scary time, but it also was like a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Because that's some hard shit,
Has she been doing okay now?
Oh yeah, she's fine now. I mean, we both got COVID again, like a few months back, or whatever. But it was nothing like
good.
nothing how it's been.
That's good to hear, man. That is.
But
real
yeah,
good to
that
hear.
was a crazy time.
Fuck, dude, that's scary.
And I still think about it to this day. I'm like, do you realize you almost, you almost died? And it was crazy because like the hospital I took her to was in Frisco. We live like in the Prosper area, and that's just north of Frisco. And the hospital I took her to was a brand new hospital that they built, actually right across the street from our old apartments. They built one there, a hospital, and I could see it from my house. So every time I would talk to her on FaceTime, I could see the hospital from there. And I was like, she's literally right over there, and I can't even go see her. So that was kind of crazy, but at the end of the day, it worked out.
That Omicron variant, it bit my mom.
Oh, no
and
shit.
She was hiding her symptoms from me because I don't live with her, and I just talk to her every day, and she's like, I feel okay. And then finally my sister texts me, and she's like, she's lying to you. Like, her oxygen level keeps going lower and lower. So I called her lung doctor. Her lung doctor told us to take her to urgent care. Yeah. So she goes to urgent care. Urgent care was like, I don't know why they told you to bring yourself here. You need to go to the hospital. They take her in an ambulance to the hospital. She's waiting in the emergency room for 2 days, bro, for a room.
Wow. Yeah, it was packed. We got lucky that that place, because I had called another place that was closer to us, and they're like, we're full. They're like, you need to find somewhere else to take her to because we're at capacity. So I was like, I called that hospital. I just so happened I just seen it, and they're like, oh, they just opened this hospital. And I called the ER. They're like, yeah, bring her in. So yeah, there were so many people.
Big blessing for you to
my buddy, his father-in-law was in the same hospital as my wife. There, he was like a few rooms over, and I didn't even know that.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, he survived too, and he was like kind of a worse off condition with his health. He had health problems and stuff, but I mean he survived it. But it was just there was a point where there was like they couldn't fit people in there.
So my mom's lung doctor is on the doctors in there, telling them to get some drug ordered for her, and they're giving her the runaround. Like, it's on order, and so she's in there like maybe 3 days on her third day already, and the lung doctor raises fucking hell. Yeah. Like, I've ordered this drug 5 days ago, and where is it? She's raising hell. They finally give her that drug that morning. That night, she's FaceTiming me in her bedroom. And I was like, oh, shit, like, you're already home? She's like, yeah, they gave me this medicine, and I felt better. My oxygen went right back up, and they sent me home. You know what drug was it? The Trump drug, the hydrochloroquine.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I asked for that, too.
They gave it to her, and that same day she went home, bro.
Holy crap.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I wish she would have had that option. But like when I asked our doctor, because we share the same doctor, me and my wife, and actually he's from Lubbock too. I meet a lot of people out there that are from Lubbock, but yeah, he was like, oh no, we don't do that. And I was like, well, what do you want me to do?
Like you don't save lives?
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, he's like, we can't prescribe that.
Especially when the benefits are there like that. It's like, holy
maybe
crap.
now they can, but at that time they're so against that. Because remember you told me to try some certain things.
Yeah.
And I asked the doctors, and they're like, no, we can't prescribe it for you because we don't prescribe that that type of treatment.
That's crazy, brother.
It's crazy, dude.
And because when we both found out we had COVID the first time, our doctor told us to go get this infusion. It's called a molecular infusion.
Yeah, it's for the antibodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But there was like a waiting period. I was like, well, we need to go pretty soon. And somehow they got us in. Like, this was like on a Friday. They're like, okay, we can get you in on Monday. So I was like,
What sucks about that though is if you don't get it within the first 2 or 3 days of getting COVID, it's pointless.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And she was further along than I was. Okay. I didn't know that. And then, so that day we were supposed to go, that's when she's like, take me to the hospital. So I took her to the hospital, and then I had to go home and get changed and stuff, and then go to, they were doing the infusions at a junior college in McKinney, Collin County College. And so I went to that, and that was an experience all on its own. It felt like I was in a movie. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie Contagion, but it's like, it has to deal with like a pandemic and stuff. And that's kind of like this similar situation. Like I walked in there, and there was these 2 ladies like in hazmat suits.
Yeah,
and
crazy stuff.
They're like, you have an appointment? And I was like, yeah. So I signed my name, and they're like, okay, fill out this questionnaire. I had to fill out like all these papers. I was like, am I applying for a job? Or what am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a hoodie or not?
Yeah. How big's your dick? I was like, hey.
And those times, looking back at it now, those times it was a little bit creepy. Like I remember going, out on the roads because I had caught it, but I still work because I do, mowing yards, landscaping. So me and my partner, we're still out there. There's nobody and their mom out there. We don't talk to the people. They pay us, either online or
do gang signs.
Do gang signs. West Side. But we're out there, and I'm
throw up your Venmo, fool.
Thomas, that's badass.
You're doing those peace signs. Did you see that? I don't know if I tagged you on that one lady that was doing the sign language for some sheriff's department, and she wasn't qualified to do it. She was just
a couple years ago. Yeah, she was a fraud.
It's hilarious.
I was like, shit, I should do that.
Yeah,
right? Make me $100,000. Just be out every now and then, throw the finger up.
Yeah.
I know a few words.
I know,
right? Shit. But when I went there, it was crazy because so they sit you in this huge auditorium, and you have to space yourself out. So I fill out the shit or whatever, and I go take it back to him. Well, this I felt kind of bad because this lady came in, and I guess it was her husband, and they're like, real Mexicanos, they didn't speak English.
Yeah.
They're, you could tell they're from Mexico. And so they're trying to figure it out and shit or whatever. And then they call you into another room, and they have a bunch of leather chairs, almost like you're getting a blood transfusion.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's that Molly calling,
That's crazy.
And so I go sit down, and the guy's like, so where do you want it on your stomach, the shot in your stomach, or do you want it on your tricep? And I was like, put it on my tricep. And so I get it, and it's just weird. Like, it feels weird when it goes in you.
Because it's like an IV drip, right?
Yeah, it's weird. I felt like fucking Wolverine getting that, anti whatever shit. But so I'm done, and they're like, okay, hang on a sec. We're going to check your oxygen levels to make sure you're okay to drive. And so they check it. Okay, you're good to go. So as I'm walking out, I see that Mexican guy, and they're putting that shit in his stomach. Oh, I was like, oh, that looks so fucking painful. Like, he probably didn't know that you had an option. They just
they just put it in his stomach.
You don't understand English. He says yes.
This one goes in your balls, man.
What are your balls or your belly? Balls.
It drains your balls, but it makes your pee-pee bigger. Sign me up.
Yeah. But yeah, that was just a crazy.
That's nuts, dude.
The stuff that we had to go through.
Yeah.
You think about it as a child and as a young adult, you don't think you're gonna go through that kind of thing because you've never experienced it before. We've never experienced something like that.
That's what I'm saying. It was so nuts when it all happened, bro. It was so surreal for everybody, I imagine, but just being out there on the roads, it was just weird not seeing no cars and can't go to the gym. I don't work out, but I imagine for y'all not being able to go to the gym, it's like your daily routine. It fucks it up.
Oh yeah.
For me, it was crazy. But
I gained so much weight,
dude. I feel the blessing for me is, like I said, I still got to do those yards because people still wanted their yards done. So I was like, fuck it, and no interaction, but it helped me out because when I caught it, I was able to sweat the shit out, and I would take my sinus. My mom's an old school nurse, and I was able to get through it. But then I looked at it, I was like, I'm just going to keep working. So I got through it. My daughters went through it and it kind of scared me también. But other than that, it didn't bother me. I'm still not vaccinated.
Yeah, me.
Well, that's the thing. Like, work was like, hey, fill this out if you want to get vaccinated. I was like, you put mine in the shredder. Yeah. Fuck that.
So they at least gave you options?
They gave you an option. That's good. Because, well, my work did too. If they didn't, I would have quit. But they're like, either you get vaccinated or you have to. They made me pay. Oh no. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had to pay to have the test kit. So that the test kit was like $100 and something. So they would just like space it out between your checks. Man. So
you had to have a negative to go back to work.
Yeah, at one point.
Okay,
and then after a while, after like it was more mainstream, and they kind of cut it out. But at least they gave us an option. My wife's work, they didn't give you an option.
Yeah.
And one of her employees, she was like she's a big time Trump supporter, and she was like, I don't want to take it, but she had no choice. Like, you got to lose your damn job.
That sucks. Yeah.
And she was kind of in a position where she had to do it. So
I told my wife if it comes to you have to, you're gonna quit.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
And I stay out of politics, but I'm the first believer to like, no, and you can't force me to do anything that I don't. One, I'm not educated, because at the time they were like, take it now, and you're like, if I need to be educated on that, and I chose not to. My partner I work with, he's Republican, real good dude though, Christian man, has his values and stuff. And what brought us closer in is because I'm not necessarily a political person. I like to say, some people like Whoppers, some people like Big Macs. Me, I'll eat both of those motherfuckers.
Stack.
But with him, we became closer because I told him
gangbang.
I like a McGang and a McFish.
Remember when Whoppers were a quarter, or not quarter,
a
like
dollar.
$1?
We were just talking about that last
Two for
night.
$2, baby.
I was looking for something to eat last night. I was
And a
starving.
quarter for cheese.
And a quarter for cheese.
Yeah, dude, it's weird here in Lubbock. Like I noticed, like it's like real dead. Is that like?
That's always Lubbock's
Is it always
horrible.
like that?
Yeah, dude.
What do you mean dead?
Like, well, last night we left like my mother-in-law's like around almost 11, and we were driving like just down, like Slide in the Loop around that area.
Mm-hmm.
There's like nobody there. It's
Really?
like a ghost town.
I can't tell
I was
you,
like,
man.
school's back, so like there's students here, right?
It's like my age has like reversed.
Yeah, different.
Because when I was young, I was for the streets, and now that I'm old, dude,
Yeah, everyone's
once
at
that fucking
I mean, I'm the
sun
same way too,
drops,
dude.
I don't
Yeah,
go
bro.
nowhere.
Same way here. Like,
unless
I-
it's work.
I live in the Dallas area. I could be out at the fucking clubs, or not clubs, the bars.
Yeah.
We stay like north of Frisco, and we don't go any further than Frisco.
And that's the cool thing about us getting old, man. Like, we have priorities now, like in going to your house and having a little crew over. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, this is fucking amazing.
But
See, I
that's
missed that.
going
I
out
missed-
to
yeah.
me.
yeah, that's going. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's good. Like
Yeah.
that's the safest.
Like, why am
way
I
to
going to
go,
spend
and,
$300 at a bar when I got a whole fucking wall of bourbon? Like,
bro, that was
Yeah. In one of your show episodes, you were talking about how y'all came to the DFW for Eric's bachelor party, and y'all went to a restaurant, and it turned to a club at night.
yeah.
That's how they all do it there.
okay.
Like you go and you'll eat till like 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock they bring in a DJ, and they try and get you drunk because
Shit,
them-
Burger King's popping down there.
it's crazy.
It was a fucking club, bro.
No shit.
Like,
badass restaurant.
like
in
I could not hear the person that was like this far. Like, we'd fucking yell, and I'm like, this shit is fucking
Yeah.
loud.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
turn
it's
this
crazy.
shit off.
Let me order some tripas. Goddamn.
We went to this restaurant for my birthday, and it's called like the Mexican. It's like in downtown Dallas, and
That's racist.
yeah, it is racist.
It's all a white guy out there.
Yeah, but I mean the restaurant looked amazing. and
Job.
Being Mexican.
I've got a manual washing dishes.
Hey, manual labor. Si, senor.
They had them playing Mexicans there, but they had that bone marrow, and I've been wanting to try it. I remember you telling me it was good as hell. So they had some bone marrow tacos, and I had seen them on Instagram. I was like, damn, I gotta try that.
Please
So-
tell me you tried it.
Well, yeah, I tried
Oh,
it,
hell
but
yeah.
it wasn't what I thought it was.
Oh, okay.
I thought I could eat it off the bone marrow.
Oh.
No, they scraped it off the bone marrow, put it in the tacos, and put like onions and cilantro and all that in the bone.
So it took away from the
Yeah, it
experience.
took away from the experience. But anyways, we went there, and it was the same thing too. We were there from like 6 to, we were there for a while because we were drinking, and yeah, all of a sudden I was in the restroom, I come out, knocking, music's, you know.
That's badass.
I was like,
dude.
and then we're talking, I'm just like, bobbing my head like, dude, I'm eating dinner, right? Why the hell I feel like I'm at a club?
I smell fajitas, but I hear hometown
Yeah,
boys.
yeah,
That's badass.
exactly.
We go to this bar called Narrow Bar, and it's in the old Wells Fargo, where your mom worked, building. And at night, they have a fucking one-man band.
Okay.
And the place is so small, so it sounds so loud.
Yeah, yeah.
And so when he does that, I'd rather just go sit outside in the patio.
Yeah.
And I went to go piss, and it's this country-ass fucking dude. Fucking big fucking dip, just country motherfucker. And he's all, hey, they always play this shit in here. And I go, nah, dude. He goes, I can't even fucking hear my girlfriend fucking talking there. And I just started laughing.
That's funny.
He's all Toby Keith for president. God damn it. But like,
Yeah, they have a lot of that. They have a lot of people out there singing and whatever. But
I imagine Dallas, Fort Worth's always been kind of the hot spot. You know what I mean? So Frisco, like you said, dude, I need to go out there more. I need to take my daughters out
it's
there.
real chill out there. It's expanding, a lot.
You know what live music I fucking hate? mariachis.
Oh,
Like, everyone loves it. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up,
I
man.
know it's your mom's birthday.
I'm just trying to eat fucking menudo, man. Fuck.
you're at the heartbreak kid and shit. That's what it is there.
Yeah, dude. They're like, we got live mariachi from 11
And
to
they're not even
something.
dressed
like,
up. Like, now they're not even dressed up like
Yeah, they're just in
mariachis.
clothes and shit. They get off their
they're
regular
in
jobs.
streetwear, yeah.
Tip me $20, bitch.
That shit ain't gonna work. You better get
son of
dressed.
a bitch.
You son of the mother. Let's go, bitch.
You better throw on those assless chaps.
Hell yeah.
They're all singing songs like the what is it? Was it old school? God dang, it's not coming to me. The wedding singer for Old School. Oh, how he's fucking
yeah,
up that song.
yeah.
The mariachis are fucking up that
I
song.
need you now.
I fucking need you
In the
more.
candy shop and shit. I'll take you to the candy shop.
She licks it like a lollipop. He's all ticka ticka.
Estas son las pinche mañanitas. Hey, dang, I like this.
That's a good music. That boy can sing.
Oh shit, I like this.
There's actually some
Aplauso.
There's some Mike, my brother. He's into it's like a hardcore mariachi. It's like it's metalcore mariachi.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
They came to Maricon. So yes, no, they came to Lubbock, bro, and I was his designated driver because he's a teacher and he's successful or whatever.
Los maricones.
Los Maricones. I was like, hey, bro, what kind of show did y'all go to? They're in the assless chaps.
Anyways, we cut you off. What?
Oh no, but it's like a rock hardcore mariachi. And speaking of mariachi, there's this kid in town, man. He's my daughter's friend. They went to school together. His name's Aaron Hernandez. Shout out to him. Don't know if he ever listened to
Not
the
the
podcast.
killer, right?
No.
Okay.
Not the Florida guy, right?
Shout out to him too. But no, he's a good kid, and he actually went to Lubbock High, and they started a mariachi program.
Oh yeah, they do have
yeah,
one.
dude.
That's
And
cool.
you know, remember Matt Martinez and Sabrina, their daughter and their sons in that.
And they got a folklorico.
Yeah, dude,
They-
their kids are, dude. I'll bullshit side because I have both of them on Facebook, and
They're
they post-
talented as fuck.
talented, bro.
Yeah.
And play soccer también. But I love it because as we're talking shit, like, oh, we don't like to hear it. To see the younger generation take over, that's kind of cool.
That give a shit. That are
give a
doing shit. Yeah.
And it goes back to that. So yeah, it's kind of cool seeing that, bro. And
Funny thing that you bring up Matt Martinez. There was, I don't know how many Martinez's we went to school with. None of us were related.
No,
that
Not
was
one of
my
us were
dude last
related.
night, Adam and Eric, and I was like, I always thought all of y'all were related. Are y'all cousins?
Y'all not cousins?
None of us related. Roy Martinez, Matt Martinez, Adam Martinez,
That's
Eric
crazy.
Martinez,
Yeah.
me, Chris Martinez,
There was a girl, Martinez. wasn't
Patricia Martinez.
Patricia, yeah.
All of us were Martinez. None of us
What are
related.
the odds, though, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I know.
there? We all fucked each other.
Yeah. Somewhere along the lines. Back at the Alamo, we were all
We
related.
had a big
somehow.
old fucking orgy. Martinez orgy.
I did date girls mostly because my dad had like.
You had to
13
bring your 23andMe with you to make sure you're not related.
I was like, "Do you know Steve Rios? They call him Bull. That's my dad. Fuck. You're my sister."
Dude, we spent every fucking day of our like middle school and high school together.
Yeah, we did.
Like every fucking day together.
It was, yeah, we were like fucking two peas in the pod.
I
at one
literally
time.
thought y'all lived together when I'd go back because I was.
I practically lived
You
at his
did,
house.
right? Yeah.
Like in junior high and high school, I practically like. And the funny thing is like
Yeah.
me and JP were so close. Like we would like talk on the phone.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you talk
Yeah, he
to-
would leave the house and we talk on the phone.
Hey, dude, you home yet? Yeah. What's up, dude? Blah blah.
Yeah.
And we would like fucking. We would get pissed at each
Brothers,
other
yeah.
sometimes.
Brothers,
like,
yeah.
Like brothers, we
Yeah.
would get pissed
Yeah.
at each other. You'd be like, fuck you. Well, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
We hang up on each other, and then like we'd be pissed for like a few days, and then I'll call him or he'll call me. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I got the new CD. You know, come on,
Yeah.
come on through. I got the new Maxim. Come on
You want
through.
to play WWE?
Hey, you gonna go to school tomorrow? Me neither. Let's go.
You want to play Monday Night Rock Nitro? Come over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
I
the holidays like
Yeah.
the Thanksgiving break, Christmas breaks. I was always at this dude's house.
yeah.
And funny thing is, he's the one who put me on the chili burger from River Smith's.
Oh yeah, the Bob's Chili
Oh
Burger.
my god, dude! I never had that. I thought River Smith's was just like seafood.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
anytime I would go eat there, it was just like popcorn, shrimp, and fries. And one day he's like, "Hey, I was at his house probably like 2-3 days. It's time for me to go home."
Oh, yeah.
He's like, "Hey, my mom's gonna take us out to eat. You want to come with us, or you want to go home?" I was like, "I'll go with you."
Hell
I
yeah.
was like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "River Smith." I was like, "All right, cool."
I eat some
He's like-
popcorn shrimp.
Oh, so yeah.
Yeah, I use popcorn shrimp. He's like, "Dude, you got to try the chili burger. It's fucking smacks." I was like, "All right, cool." So I got it. I was like, "Damn, it was good."
Yeah.
We go back to his house, start playing video games. This dude cuts one. I
yeah.
fucking cut one. We're over there having a fucking fart contest. his dad comes in. He's like, "Oh, what the fuck's going on here?
Get the hell
It smells
out.
like shit in here." like, it was good coming in, but coming out, it did some things to your colon.
I always wonder, like, me and Eric Constancio talked about this because he said that his dad caught him in the act of like a bunch of gay shit with his friends, and he just never questioned it. Like his dad just saw it, like walked away.
Let me put that out my memory.
Yeah, and I always wonder, like, if my dad thought like we were fucking
They're going ham on each other. What the fuck? Who's in that room and it smells funny?
Are they fucking?
What's going on in there?
Why does he come in so late?
I come and leave whenever, all hours of the night.
You remember you were dating that older chick in high school, and it was I think it was like sophomore year, and you stayed the night at my house, and then you snuck out of my house to go party with her.
Yeah, and then I came
and
back.
Then so I was like, "Hey, dude, just I guess when you come back, man, wake me up." He's like, "All right." I guess he said that he was trying to wake me up or whatever, and I fucking wake up and he's like, bah, bah, what the fuck? He's like, "Hey, man, let me back in."
Yeah, that was fun.
You're supposed to be my wingman, goddammit.
Well, shit, I was like, it was young as shit. So
I remember I was like, I don't want to say a third wheel. When I would spend the night, I remember that there was one time you just showed up out of nowhere late night, and that's what you said. No, you went to go get laid. What the fuck? But yeah, I remember at Lubbock, you'd be in his car. I thought you were either skipping or just waiting for Jimmy. You'd be asleep in the Jimmy. I was like, fucking Chris. I would just, and like, you cool? You'd be all.
I'm good.
This dude would go to fucking our football team meetings and shit like he was in the team.
Part of the team. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I would, right?
You really would.
No, when we go to like what's his name's mom's house, John.
Oh yeah, John Bloom.
Yeah,
to go swimming and
they're
shit.
all cool as shit with me. So we'd go out eating. Like, oh hey,
that's what I'm saying. I
feeding
think,
me fucking
because I wasn't on
chicken.
varsity, and I would go. I remember that, so I had somebody to kick it with, and yeah, they would be getting all fucked up and parties. But yeah, I remember anywhere.
Chris I'd take his ass to the team meetings and shit.
Yeah.
This one girl that I'm talking about, the older chick. So Chris is at my house, and I don't know if I'm speaking out of terms, but you told me that you told her you weren't going to prom with her, right?
Well, I couldn't. I was.
Well, I know, but you told me that you told her.
I was like, I can't.
And
go
she
with
just
you.
was like, "You're still going?"
Yeah.
She must have thought that, bro, because my mom comes into my fucking room and she's like, "Chris, some girls out there for you."
Oh shit!
And he fucking runs into my closet and he's like, "I'm not here." And so
He knew who it was immediately.
Like, they let her in. So she's like at my room, like in my room. She's like, "You know where Chris is?" And I was like, I hadn't talked to him all day. She's like, "That motherfucker's supposed to go to prom with me." Dude, she's on her prom dress, dude. And I was like, "I haven't fucking seen him. Like, I don't know." And she's like, "Well, when you see him, like, I don't know, like, tell him blah, blah."
Just take your ass to prom.
She fucking walks out, and then fucking Chris comes out of my closet. He's all laughing and shit.
It was funny.
You're all saying $55 on a
kind of
tuxedo.
pissed, but kind of like laughing about it too. It's like, "Chris, we have girls looking for you here at my house." I was like, "Sorry." I was like, it wasn't my. I didn't think she was like, "Come
You
looking
gave
for
him
me
the
here."
good wienery.
Yeah,
Fucking Chris, man.
that was hilarious.
It's like, "What the fuck, Chris?" He's like, "Man, I told her I didn't want to go to prom with her."
I wasn't even dating her. She was just like someone I was just kind of messing with. You know? It wasn't like.
She fell in love.
Yeah, I guess. I remember this one time, like, funny thing is,
You over here.
she called me this one day and she's like, "Hey, do you want something?" I was like, "What do you mean, do I want something?" She's like, "I'm gonna go shopping. You want like some cologne or like a Tommy Polo or
I want that Tommy cologne.
And I was like, "Yeah."
JP, you want anything?
I was like, "Fuck it." I was like, "Yeah, give me some cologne." She's like, "All right." And then maybe like an hour or two later, she calls me and she's like, "Hey, you think you can get me out of jail?" I was like, "What?"
Oh shit.
She was fucking stealing. She was stealing from the
Bro,
store.
she loved your ass.
Well, I guess that's something she did like on the reg.
yeah,
she would
yeah.
steal clothes and then sell them or whatever. But she got caught. She's like, "Can you get me out?" I was like, "Hell no, I can get you out." I was like, I don't even know how to begin, like where to go to get you out of jail.
I didn't even ask you to, bitch.
Yeah.
Do I call 911? I don't know.
Just wait it out.
You know
or
what?
something.
Figure it the fuck out.
Yeah. It's like, just wait it out.
But hey, did you get that cologne?
Well, she did. She gave it to me.
Oh shit.
Yeah. God damn. I don't know where the fuck she hit that motherfucker at. Like,
God damn.
she gave it to me. I was
He didn't even bail her out. He still got the cologne.
She went to jail. She didn't get bailed out. Decent wienering. I brought
Goddamn, dude, write a book now. Start.
She gave it to me because I was like, didn't she go to jail for this? She's like, yeah, but I still got it. I was like,
God damn, that's some Major Puga shit right there.
Y'all are a legend, bro. That's legendary in my goddamn book.
that's some funny shit.
Chris,
You and Adrian need to write a book, man. Fuck.
No, Adrian's his book might be a little longer than
That
mine.
big Puto. Oh,
Just has more chapters.
Yeah.
Shout out Adrian Puga.
Yeah, shout out to. I hooked him up with the first couple girlfriends in junior high.
The first couple.
Oh, dude, he would tell me the stories.
Maybe the next couple too.
I know. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
That's crazy, man.
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude, we spent every fucking day together, man. It was crazy.
That's badass, man.
But I remember one of my favorite memories growing up with you was always walking home from the boys club. Just, we had to be home, or my dad told me, and Chris was going to my house, be home by a certain time. So we'd be balling and then be like, hey, I gotta go. So we'd always fucking stop at that corner store and get Sprites and we'd fucking walk home.
Oh yeah.
Like, it was just something just like that, just bullshitting, walking all the way home from fucking boys
I was
club.
thinking like how we
badass.
we got so close, and I kind of remember because I don't know I have a pretty good memory, and I think it was like in maybe junior high or like sixth grade, somewhere around there. I know I used to kick it with Georgie, and I used to hang out with Roy Martinez a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, me and Roy were pretty tight too.
Is that how y'all all came together?
Yeah, and then we would go play basketball in his backyard. We would
yeah.
hoop it up, and then when it was time to go home, I would walk to my grandma's because my mom didn't get off work till a little later. So then she'd pick us up. So I'd walk to my grandma's, and it was on his way home. So me and him were always walking the same route.
Okay,
and I think like we just started like.
Clicked
And then one
up.
day he's like, "Hey, you want to come to my house?" I was like, because my mom she was strict with me and my brother. Like
He was so pissed.
she didn't want us. She didn't
so
want us going
pissed.
like staying at anybody's houses. She didn't want anybody staying at our house.
Single mom taking two boys.
Yeah, my
I
mom
bet,
was a single
I bet.
mom.
Yeah.
She raised us and
Yeah.
for the majority of our youth, and she didn't want us being anywhere. Which I mean, now that I think about it, I'm like, thank God, because we could have got ass raped everywhere,
Yeah, bro.
But the very first time I asked you to spend the night, he came over, and then like 2 or 3 minutes after the door closed, like the doorbell rings, and it's his mom.
Oh shit.
Like, I guess he like got off and like, fuck you. And then like the doorbell rings and it's his mom, and she's like, I just wanted to meet JP's parents, and my mom was just there, and he was so fucking pissed.
Oh yeah, it was kind of embarrassing, but
Why'd you get out? Yeah, I feel
yeah,
you.
but I mean, hey, that's what you want to do. You want to make sure that your child's in good hands.
Yeah.
And his parents were amazing.
Yeah.
His mom and his dad. His dad was such a character.
Oh, dude.
He
Many
would talk to
wrestling
him.
matches.
Yeah, he
I would love when he'd get because I was just
he used to fuck with me like
all the
I'd
time,
be
yeah.
like he'd be like JP like I'm gonna go take a piss. He go and I'm over here playing video games, and here comes his dad fucking trying to grapple me and shit. And at first when we were younger, he kind of overpowered me, but then when I was in high school, I was like
Get
I
him
fucking
back.
had his ass down. I was like, what now, Pete?
That's
What
bad-
now?
that's badass,
He's like, all right,
dude.
that's enough. All right, that's enough. God dang, yeah.
When'd you start growing?
Yeah. But he always like feed us, and
That's badass, man. Good memories.
he did a lot of what was those what was it?
Ceramics.
Yeah, ceramics. He'd always do that. And I was like, I always wondered. I was like, why does he do that? But and now that I'm older, I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's just something to get your mind off of.
Therapeutical, man. And
Yeah.
he was badass.
He was
bad
badass.
motherfucker.
I did appreciate it back then, but when I would see the little stuff, like I said, I tell JP, even sometimes it was just a little bit of time I got to spend with y'all, but it was so awesome because you were like a son to his dad, and obviously he treated a lot of us like that. Some of the football players, his pops was awesome, but I used to like to see how he would fuck with you, bro, because it was like he included you all the time, and I used to love because one time I showed up and you opened the door. JP's in the room playing a game, and his dad's like, he's here again already, and you're like, jokingly, you're like, I know, I told him not to come. He's like, no, I was talking about both of y'all. And it was just so cool though, because I was like, man, JP, your dad's bad. I love, yeah.
He used,
cool
to,
shit,
he used to
bro.
do this one thing to me that I used to get under my skin because I used to hate like when we would walk and it was like a windy day and dirt would get on my face. Any like shit that would get on my face would just like irk me.
Oh, yeah.
And what he would fucking do is he'd come up behind me and lick his finger and rub it across my cheek, and it smelled like wet skin. oh my God. I was like, Pete, what the fuck? What the fuck? He was over there laughing. It smelled like wet skin and just like, I was like, asshole.
Oh, dude,
Yeah, he was.
You nasty fucker.
Yeah, he was hilarious. Me and him, we would tell like these little cheesy jokes, like little one-line jokes to each other all the time.
That's cool, bro.
I used to always like look for some good jokes to tell him because I used to like to make him laugh.
Yeah.
He's a hell of a man, you know.
Really was, man.
And I would
Pass
hear
it on
you
to
like
him.
say that your pops was like strict with you and hard on
Yeah.
you, but I mean, hell, that made you the man you are today.
Yeah,
Like-
I didn't see it, man. I really didn't. I just thought my dad hated me.
Yeah, bro.
No, he
He's
was a good dude.
Yeah, being an
dude.
adult now, I see it.
He loved the shit out of you, and he would ask me from time to time, like when you weren't in the room, or if maybe I got there before you did, or whatever.
Yeah.
He'd ask me like how you were doing and if you were doing all right and
That's
shit.
badass, bro.
I told him, I was like, yeah, he's doing great. You know, he's playing football, or we're doing good. You know, there's no problems. We're not getting into shit. And he's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
But he would always ask like, how's JP doing? Is he doing all right? You know, he didn't have any problems. And I'm like, bro, I was like, he's in good hands. JP's.
And that's trust for
Do you
him.
have any
to-
good boyfriends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does his boyfriend have nice lips? No, I was talking. Y'all were talking about the basketball. You had to be there, bro. I was telling JP, our first fight. I didn't know y'all.
I forgot that until you brought it up last night.
We were 7th grade at
Roy's house.
It was at Roy's. You were there, George.
Whose first fight?
Mine and or it wasn't even a fight, but
Yeah, we fought.
Holy shit!
because
Yeah,
we were
y'all
7th
fought.
grade.
Yeah.
We're playing basketball, and I was trying to impress y'all because I came from Jackson. I had just moved there, so I didn't know really nobody. Y'all are from McWhorter and Woodford, all that area. So I wanted to be y'all's friends and try to act cool. So I remember we were playing, and y'all were ribbing me, and I was taking it personal. And I don't know what in the fucking Saved by the Bell I thought. I went to try to hit JP with my left. I'm righty, and I completely missed. And slow motion, JP looks at me like, "What the fuck is he doing?" So he just pops me in the head one time. I fall down. He gets on me. It's like little, 7th grade
Yeah.
stuff. And he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Hits me. So the next day, I'm like, at school, he's like, "Hey, you want to come to my house?" So I thought he was trying to set me up. He goes, "No, for real, you want to come to my house?" I was like, "Not if y'all going to jump me." He was like, "Dude, just come over." And after that, dude, I became, because I thought Roy didn't like me. After that, dude, and Roy, I became so close to Roy. In wrestling, in high school, he wrestled. And his senior year, he was like, "I know I can't beat you." He goes, "But that's not going to stop me from trying." And that made me love that dude.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I was varsity and I was, good. And he would every practice show up. Well, I gave him my first pair of wrestling shoes.
Oh, really?
He was going to buy them from him. I was like, "Dude, something just..." So me and Roy linked up. But yeah, it was funny as shit because that's what brought our friendship. We became friends. Because after the first time, he just invited me to play basketball. So, yeah, it was funny as shit. I swung, missed, and he just hit me a couple times on the floor. And the next day, he's like, "You want to come over?" I said, "This dude's going to beat me up."
That's funny.
And
Yeah.
after that, we went to eat. We started just hanging out. And then in 9th grade is when we really became. That's what I'm saying. I thought you lived there because he'd invite me over. And there's times I'd show up and he wouldn't be there, and you're like, "Oh, come on in."
Come on in, yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, I guess he lives here." I didn't know, bro.
Yeah, I got to a point where like I was there like
He was
on the
receiving
weekend.
mail.
It was,
Yeah, like it wasn't
Literally,
cool.
yeah.
If I wasn't there, they'd be like, "What the fuck? What's going on?" Why
seriously,
yeah, because
Yeah.
I was that often. We would
Yeah.
hang out that much, and even my mom, she'd be like, "Dude, when are you coming home?" I'm like, "I don't know, but I'm gonna go home and shower and change.
Yeah,
I'm gonna come back."
I'm gonna go home, but I'm going back to JP's.
There's food here.
There's food, yeah.
Yeah, that was
Do
some
you
good times.
remember chatting on my
chatting?
computer?
Oh yeah.
AOL.
At that time, it was like the nerd thing, like.
Oh, yeah.
But now it's like it's a common thing. But yeah,
But it was fairly new.
Yeah, it was real
It
new.
was real new.
Because if you didn't have, because what I would use was AOL, the AOL Messenger.
Oh yeah.
And I would use that at home. When I was living with my grandmother, I would use it there. And then when I go visit my mom, and she moved to Fort Worth when I graduated. I go visit her, and she had it too. So I'd be on that shit like all the fucking time, like talking to girls and talking.
And that's what's funny is because when I graduated and was going to school after graduation, my parents bought me a computer for college, and I don't think we ever turned it on to not watch porn and chat on bitches.
Yeah.
Pornhub, X video. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like slow, but still.
Yeah,
once
it
you got
was
it was
dial-up
like,
porn,
yeah.
but
Once it loaded, it was fucking amazing.
We grew up with watching Cinemax with the lions and one titty popping out, so
Yeah.
we were cool with slow internet.
and we talked about it on the Pendejos this past week, but like straight up looking for naked celebrities.
Oh, yeah. That was the thing. That was the thing, bro. And then Kim Kardashian fucked
It's
it
like,
up.
where's the nip slips for these celebrities?
Jennifer Love Hewitt. Oh my
That shit was
god.
funny, and we would take turns too. We'd go to your house, and we would take turns chatting, with, and then we would switch off and watch like We would watch, particularly on Sunday nights, we'd watch like
Oh, all the
Sopranos
HBO shows
and all that shit. And we go over there.
Y'all got me into Sopranos because I was poor. I didn't have. I told JP when I'd spend the night, he would be asleep. I'd stay up watching ESPN because I didn't have it. That's how I learned about sports. So thank you, bro.
Sopranos is my shit, man. I watch that
Sopranos
shit.
Y'all turned me on to that shit. Y'all
and
to
like
this day,
we
bro.
both watch Sex in the City too.
Sex and the City.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the first time it came on. It was like during the summertime, and I was all trying to get fit for the summer and shit. So I would be doing like ab crunches and push-ups and shit
Watching it.
in the living room of my house. And then I was waiting for like boxing to come on, and they started showing Sex in the City. I was like, oh, maybe there's some fucking on here or something. Yeah. So I was like, wait, and it was just the show that it is. I was like, man, it's all right, I guess. And then I told JP, I was like, have you seen Sex in the City? He's like, yeah. I watched, like the first episode. I was like, it's not bad, right?
Yeah,
And he's
it's not
like,
bad. Yeah.
it's not bad. So we
started watching it. Yeah.
Didn't y'all watch Entourage?
No, but I got onto Entourage like on season 3.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, this show's badass. So while season 3 was playing, I think like 1 and 2 were on DVDs or some shit. And that's how I watched
That's
them.
how I got started.
Yeah.
'Cause, I would follow you on Facebook and we'd communicate a little bit, but that's exactly because you would show me. I was like, man, I need to get a good job to buy cable so I can afford it.
Cable is awesome. No matter how poor you are, if you had cable, you're living like a king.
But it blows my mind, like,
Yeah.
like, cause my parents we weren't rich, but I mean, we weren't
Worked hard,
we weren't like broke, poor, but we all, ever since I can remember, bro, we always had cable.
Oh yeah.
Always had cable.
Didn't you have Showtime and HBO?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I had all of them, didn't you?
No, just Showtime and HBO. Yeah.
All we had was HBO. Yeah, that was it.
I think we had Channel 3 and 7.
And I remember like there would be like months that my dad would take the Showtime and HBO off and be all, what the fuck, Dad? Why the fuck you take off HBO?
You guys at your house, like, what made me laugh too, the very first time, it freaked me though. At first, it kind of scared me, but I just got used to it. Is the way you guys would communicate at your house.
Yeah.
Like he would be in his room, and his mom would be in the room. JP, he's like, what? I'm like, what the fuck?
I used to love when your sister would come through. Get the hell out of here.
They would communicate throughout the house. You didn't need no
Bro, my niece and my mom and my sister live together now. Go there now.
Go there now.
God dang, dude. You'll be having 3 conversations at once. They don't care if they're talking over each other. And I'm just like, I can't.
Yo, Mom, I got to go home.
Or sometimes
I just can't.
Your mom would be like on the phone talking
man.
like I'd be in your room, whatever, watching a movie or whatever, and I don't know, you were out of the room, and I would hear your mom on the phone, and she would just like, I don't know who she was talking to, but they would make her laugh, and she's like, her laugh was contagious.
Yep.
Her laugh would make me laugh. I was like, I wonder what they're talking about because this shit sounds funny.
So funny.
It's so fucking funny.
Yeah. Seriously, brother.
That's crazy. Like, I was like, dang, that's crazy. Like how like your parents, like your dad worked during the day and your mom worked at night.
Yeah.
And they kind of like switched off with you guys.
Yeah, that's how the marriage worked, bro.
Yeah. I was like, your mom gets off that late? Because I remember like we were up late playing games or something, watching
2
a movie.
a.m. And then we'd go out to eat.
Yeah, we go out to eat. And then I was like, dang, your mom works late as fuck.
Yeah.
But that's
another thing we
worked.
talked about last night, because he said that I was like telling him, hey man, like stay awake because my mom is gonna take us out to eat when she gets off work. He's like, what the fuck?
You had to stay awake. Like if we did certain shit, like if you fell asleep, you got.
Oh yeah.
We get your ass.
Oh yeah.
San Juan.
Yeah. Oh,
He can attest to that. That motherfucker.
That's
We
why I
did
stopped
a
spending
full
the night over
makeover on that boy. Full makeover.
Oh, yeah.
Glamour shots, the whole thing. The whole time he's asleep.
But he always passed out first.
always passed out
He always passed out first.
Well, he was working like in 8th grade and shit. Poor Sam, while he was all doing man shit while we're still playing with ourselves, man.
Yeah, that's some funny shit.
Yeah.
Those are some good times.
Yeah,
man. And I'm grateful for your parents. And I've said that before, and I could see it in Chris, man. Your parents. And I only pray that I can be parents like that to my kids, friends and stuff. And I see how last night spending time with you and your stepson. I know that's your stepson.
Yeah.
But that's your boy. And seeing the pride you have in him. But I don't know if you saw it. I saw the pride he has in you and his mom too, though. And that was badass, bro, because you were just being yourself, being crazy or shit. But he could, it's badass, bro. So what your parents passed on to you, you're passing it on to your son, and God willing, your niece and all.
Yeah,
that. Beautiful people.
I've been hard on him his whole life, but I know no other way.
That's out of love, bro. And I try to be hard, but man, I'm a pushover, and that's kind of why my ex-wife did what she did, and my kids, and that's nobody's fault but my own. So to see you being tough on your kid, but out of love, that's how my dad was.
Yeah.
And I always thought my dad was this mean ass and blah blah blah. But that tough love, my brothers, you know.
But I'm
Yeah,
just
sets you straight, man.
It
Because
does.
like,
That's what you.
I
need.
mean, I didn't have a dad, and my mom, she tried her best to be like both.
Both, yeah.
You know, but there's certain things that a man can teach you that unfortunately a woman can't.
yeah.
She, you know, he can teach you tough love.
And that's badass that his dad was there for you.
He kind of instilled that in me too, and I always like respected, you know, your parents, especially, you know, your dad and your mom. Your dad, when your dad was more of the
authority.
Yeah, authority. So if he told me, hey, can you go do this or that? Yeah, like,
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah, I remember you taking dishes from the room like nothing. You're like, oh, it's all good.
Yeah.
And I learned from that too because I have nothing but respect for his parents, and I saw that. So yeah, and that's badass, bro. Seeing the dad that you've become.
But it's I got to experience what he experienced with my dad, with your dad, and then Jacob's dad, and Eric's dad.
Yeah.
Like, so
that's badass.
they were the hard figures on them, but they were cool as shit with me.
My dad, to his dying day, bro, he loved the shit. He, you know, I think he saw a lot of his younger self in you, you know, and he thought we were badass. And me and you were just, like, just some slap dicks, just doing stupid shit. But that's the cool thing about when other parents can, you know, and I love that because my kids, a lot of their friends, they call me dad. And sometimes I feel like, man, I need to step up my game because I'm not doing enough because some of these girls don't have actual fathers. Yeah. And so just being there, some people tell me, oh, you're doing enough. But hearing how your dad, he didn't have to be that way with Chris or myself, with San Juan or even just random people.
With anybody.
He didn't have to do that. And he did that because he gave a fuck about you.
Yeah.
So the fact that you are harder on your son, it's only because you give a shit.
Yeah.
The common story about my dad is like, yeah, man, your dad was an asshole to us, but then he'd sit us down and make us dinner.
Yeah, bro. He
could cook his ass off.
Yeah,
man.
he did.
Hell
man.
yeah, he cooked his ass off.
Yeah. And we didn't have shit in the house.
But
Nothing.
he'd make it happen, yeah.
And fucking all day hungry. And then he gets home from work and he makes fucking all this shit out of scraps. And I was like, what the fuck?
And at first I was like, I didn't want to eat y'all's food. I was like, you know, that's y'all's food. I'm looking at it. But he's like, you better eat. I was like, all right, yeah, I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat whatever
What
you
did he
say.
tell you? If you're not going to eat, don't come back. Seriously, bro.
This fucker is totally off subject, but it came to mind. This fucker had a pair of nude underwear.
Oh, those?
He would fucking, like, I'd pick him up. He'd fucking come to the door, his big old glass door, and I'd be like, is this fool naked? And he's all in his nude underwear and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude?
They're edible, JP.
Well, it was like, when I bought the pack, it was, I mean, I was like in high school or something. When I bought the pack, I didn't read the color. I just saw that there was like multicolor.
So is it skin color?
Yeah, it was like
shit.
no, it was like a tan color. I'm kind of like light, so it looked like I was fucking,
Fucking
like a damn
nude,
mannequin.
nude color underwear.
You're all flashing up. Hey, what's that?
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck? And I was like, no, it's underwear, bro. He's like, oh shit. I was like, what you think I was a mannequin or something? Fucking no.
You thought I lost my pee-pee or what?
No, he would put like his ass on the glass. Like you never see like full frontal.
Yeah, you thought it was
And I'd
all
be
butt
like,
cheeks.
What the fuck is wrong with this dude? Like,
I had brown ones like that, but it was more of a streak.
he did that. Put it on the glass song.
Put it on the glass.
That's badass, brother.
Speaking of songs, what was your main song that you would put, or if you did put on your answering machine in high school?
Oh,
Ooh,
dude.
good question. Good question.
It was the Jay-Z song. I love bitches,
Yeah,
thug
I
bitches.
think we both put it on
we
ours,
both had
yeah.
that one. Yeah.
That's badass.
To be like, leave a message.
Yeah.
And then I love bitches, thug bitches,
Y'all
shy
help each other,
bitches, rock bitches.
First time I put that on, my mom comes in my room because she called my line. She's like, what's that shit you have on your answering machine? I was like, what do you mean, Mom? She's like, something about bitches and you love bitches.
JP, Mom, he
She goes,
did
you still
it.
live at home. You don't love any bitches. So when you move out, that's when you can have
He
bitches.
blamed it on me.
Yeah,
Fucking JP.
Yeah,
Mom,
JP, such a
JP,
bad
Mom,
influence.
I try to put casting crowns or Christian.
Fucking JP is such a bad influence.
Yeah, dude. I got that all
That's a
the
good question,
time.
though, yeah.
I did,
Oh, yeah.
man. Everyone thought I was a bad influence, and it was everyone else.
Yeah,
It's because your character, bro.
Yeah, I think so.
It's easy to blame you because you're the life of the party. You know,
Yeah.
like, people could be all sad, like we get our ass kicked in a football game. JP's in there fucking pouring down 30 pack and fuck y'all.
That or you hear his laugh. You can hear his
Yes,
laugh
yeah.
from around the corner. And you start laughing because you know something's funny.
And one of the first things you said today was you always knew he could do a podcast.
Yeah.
That's when I thought, you know, I've heard people doing and I could care less about them. And then when I seen that the Bundecos had one, I was like, I'm gonna check it out. And my ex-wife watches some shit, and when when I first heard those dudes, I was like, the first thing I could think of, I was like, man, JP would be people like you and Jacob Signs when we can be ourselves.
Yeah.
So to see you doing it, I was like, you have a hit. And I keep telling you that, but also as you continue to grow and you tell people your stories and it relates to other people, you'd be surprised that people you wouldn't expect to listen to your show will be falling. Whether it's women, whether it's dudes that were on the other side, like we're crazy as shit. We weren't bullies. We were crazy as shit. But maybe there's some dudes out there that weren't able to be that way with their homeboys. Yeah. And they're like, man, those dudes, like your homeboy said the other day, those are my homies. I love it, bro. You're doing badass, bro. You're doing
it's
badass.
dope. And I mean, I've listened to podcasts for many years, but the podcasts I would listen to were like true crime, conspiracies.
Shit, I
so
love that,
it kind of puts you in a weird mood because
Yeah.
I would listen to some like true crime podcasts like at work, and it'd be like fucking raw, like murder, and
your mind's
kids
focused on that.
And I'm like working, I'm like, fuck, it put me in a weird mood.
Yeah.
And then like listening to the Pendejos and JP, they like flip. Like I'm like having, it makes me feel a lot brighter.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'm not such in a like shitty mood. Because some of those true crimes can put you in a real shitty mood. I'm like, people at work are like, oh, you gotta listen to this just true crime episode. It's crazy. And I'm like, I'm like, you listen to that whole thing?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I'm like, dude, that's some raw ass shit. Like,
And I grew up loving those things. We didn't have cable a lot, so I'd read papers. So a lot of the shit that they talk about now, that old stuff, I'd read it. And you're exactly right, because sometimes you think whether it's something that brings up bad memories but listen to these dudes, that you'll laugh your ass off, and there's some seriousness to it too. But and it's like I told him before, it's kind of like some therapy. And I hope that people that don't necessarily know JP or some of his guests, that they run across it and they give it a chance, because you may not know the person, but then you start realizing I can relate. Like the names switch, like say somebody's listening to JP show and it might be a Hector and his friends, and they can tell their stories and like, oh dude, those dudes did the same. So that's what I'm saying. What you're doing, you just keep doing it, bro. You're badass, man.
What I like to, and I've said it before, but what I like to do is bring my friends and talk about old shit, because that was our prime in our friendship. It was a bunch of old shit. We're fucking grown, have our own shit going on,
and we forget a lot of it.
Yeah,
too. So
but
you hearing you say some things that like you were like, oh shit, I forgot that. And some things you forget, and it's like because you have your perspective of it and you remember from different angles of it, and it's a beautiful thing because it rekindles reminiscing, and who knows what doors, like I've always said, what doors can open from it. Friendships can reform.
Just crazy. Like we were in junior high, bro, going to like teen night.
Oh yeah.
And this
Club Rio.
Me and JP were teen night whores.
Yeah, I know
we
y'all
were there
were.
every fucking night.
I know
if
y'all
we
were.
had a ride or
even
not.
if we didn't have
One night we walked home from, was it Roadhouse Ruby's or whatever?
No shit.
I don't know what it's called.
it's called
now.
Lucky's.
Lucky's now.
Okay,
Yeah.
well we walked from there all the way to his house.
all the way to Arnett.
And that's
through the tech ghetto.
Tech ghetto.
Yeah.
I
On a
was
school
scared.
night.
I was fucking scared.
Oh, I bet,
I was
yeah.
like, bro, we gotta book it. And like, we walk in and people be like, hey, and like, come
We
on, dude, let's
fucking
fucking go.
hauled ass.
But yeah, we were there every.
And those memories
every
nobody
Sunday.
can take from y'all, and that's what I love about it, because you could tell your kids about it, your kids, grandkids one day, tell your spouses, and at the end of the day, it takes you back to you and Chris being on that street.
But that's what I was getting to is like a fucking memory that just came to me talking about teen night is you met some chick there, remember? And she had like a boat,
Dude,
big
that car-
old boat of
That
a
shit
car.
was comfortable, though, right?
Yeah,
We were in
really.
the back seat.
And we asked, he like met her, and then he's like, you think you can take me and my friend home? She's like, yeah. And this big old fucking tank shows up.
You're all sitting in the back like a kid.
It was like an old
And then
Cadillac.
I remember Chris saying, we were in the back seat. Chris was like, man, this is comfortable.
Dude, it was like sitting on a fucking couch. It was like an old Buick or something.
It's like an
The back
apartment. Yeah.
seats- The back seats were like so comfortable, and I like at that time I think I had like a thing for like chicks with like short hair.
Yeah.
And she had like short hair.
You used
whatever.
to, man. You used to pull some bad.
So,
shit, bro.
like, fast forward 1 week later, right? She shows up at my house because that's where he's at to pick him up, and then she's like, I'm gonna sit in the back seat with you, and your friend can drive us
Oh
around.
shit.
And dude, this fucking car was like missing power steering fluid. I felt like driving my grandpa's old fucking
driving a boat,
the 3 on the tree,
Yeah.
dude. That I was like, fuck.
That's the funny thing is when you're young, you don't give a shit. I mean, if it's a girl, it's a girl.
Yeah.
You find a
I don't
way.
care what she drives. If I'm getting some play there, I'm gonna do something in that big ass boat or whatever.
I was a chauffeur and shit.
You were the captain of the boat.
You got your ass a bow tie, and just cruising it.
I'm good up here.
And I didn't care. I didn't have a license. I was like, fuck, I'll drive your car. Fuck
Yeah.
it.
Wind the hood.
That's hilarious.
Those
man.
memories.
That's some good shit.
Just
right
dumb
there.
shit we
Yeah.
did like that, man. Like,
We did not care.
And the good thing is we survived it, and now we can teach our kids what not to do and give them advice to go
Yeah,
live it
best
up.
advice I always give my boy is like,
Shoot it on her tummy.
just,
Don't be a dummy.
like 10 of y'all
Yeah.
can go anywhere in the world, like country, like anywhere in the country, not world. Split a hotel room, split the gas, like two carfuls, split the gas, split the hotel. You just need a wall to lean on to sleep.
Seriously, bro.
And y'all can go, that's how we fucking did it.
Yeah.
We were everywhere. And people were like, God damn, how much money do y'all make? No, man, it was cheap because it was all of us just putting in $20 or $30.
And that's what I love and respect about you to this day. Even in, we're what, 30s now, 31? In our 30s, we can hang out with those people. Last night was cool. People I hadn't seen for 20 years. It
That's
was like-
crazy. I wish I would have made it, man.
And really, everything happens for a reason, though. You had to take care of home base.
Yeah.
Family's important, and rest in peace to your in-laws but all jokes aside, last night we had a good one for you, brother, and that's a beautiful thing, man. You keep taking care of home base, take care of your wife, and make sure she's okay. Because losing a sister,
Yeah, that's. I mean, I know what it's like to lose someone close to you.
Yeah.
And so I know what she's going through.
yeah,
But at the same time, it's like, I mean, like, that person's gone. Like,
Yeah.
you're never gonna talk to them
So,
again in this life.
So taking care of home base
So,
is important, man.
Yeah,
I respect that.
it's crazy. It just puts your mind into a different perspective when you start thinking about stuff like that. And I try to keep her busy. Let's do this, let's do that, to kind of get her mind off of that stuff. Because I know whenever I lost like my mother,
you're
when you
trained at this
when
because
you lose your mother or your sibling, that shit's tough.
Yes, it is. Yes,
And
it
it's
is.
crazy because I don't know if I brought like some bad mojo on myself, but I remember at one time I would hear like people's like close relatives passing away, and I told myself, like, damn, I'm lucky that I haven't had anyone close to me die or pass away. And literally like 3 months later, my mom has cancer. Damn. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And she passed away. And then a couple years later, my grandmother, she was like my mother, my second mother. She always watched out for me and my younger brother and a couple of my other cousins. But I was like her favorite. So she always watched out for me, and losing her too, that was pretty tough too, because she was such a great woman. But yeah, losing someone close like that, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
Shout out
crazy.
to all the great grandmas and moms.
Oh,
bro,
yeah.
Because we don't really, when we're young, we kind of like, oh, that's our mom. That's and I lost my family. I lost that at an early age, and like you said, I learned to realize that it was a blessing from God. Because when I lost my grandma, she was my mother. She raised me. She died when I was like 11, and it fucked me up. And then like so many people died, and so I experienced.
Is this the racist grandma?
No, the Mexican one. No, the racist one. She lived, man, up until 2003ish.
I think I remember you mentioning that.
And I jokingly,
mentioned that.
she really wasn't a racist, but she was she part of my friends. She used the word, beaner and nigger, but it was never like that. She hated people, because I would always ask. I loved her to death. I was the one that watched over her last few years of life, because her kids were grown. My mom was a nurse, did her thing. So me and my ex-wife would go over there and take care of her, feed her.
like, I don't like this racist lady.
Yeah.
My grandma used to call like black people colored people.
Right. Well, she learned to say color, but at first, bro, she to bleep me out if you have to, but she'd be like, I don't want no nigger people here. And I'd be like, grandma. And that's just the way they talk. So like I told that story how my brother, we kind of broke the racism, because she was like, well, those are my babies. And my uncles would jokingly call us the Mexican nephews. And one day she was like, no, those are my babies. So I jokingly say she's racist because that's what she grew up, but she looked at it like she loved my dad, and my dad was this typical pothead Mexican Indian dude, and but no, my abuelita was the one that she was like my mom, dude, and when she died, it affected me for years. So I had issues, abandonment with women. Didn't realize that until counseling, because I never got to say goodbye to my grandma. So counseling taught me
counseling does a lot for you, and like
go get it if you need it.
When my mom passed, like I thought I would be able to handle it, and then like after a few weeks, I was like, dude, I can't handle it. Like I was having crazy dreams. I was like, I would have dreams that I was talking to her, but she wasn't there, and just like it got to like overwhelming.
It hurt. Yeah.
And someone that I worked with, like, they pay for counseling, so you might as well just go to
badass,
it.
Bro.
So like, I signed up for it, and the lady that was my counselor at the time, she was from Lubbock.
Wow,
crazy
small
enough.
world,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. She's from Lubbock. She's like, blah blah blah, and I talked to her and kind of got through it. And my wife got close with that lady. Like she started talking to her too, and she's kind of like a coach for her.
Good.
Almost like a mentor.
A mentor.
Yeah, and
it worked wonders for me, man.
Because we look down on it. A lot of people would look down at it growing up, like, you're
crazy,
or you're weak. And my brother Mike would always tell me, bro, you need counseling. You're kind of crazy, and it was the truth. Because I can talk to you about my issues, but if I feel like you don't understand, it's not going to connect.
Yeah, it's not going to mesh.
It's not going to mesh. So you talk to somebody.
And you also have that fear of, like, is he going to judge me?
There you go. So, and when you meet somebody, and my daughter goes to counseling, and it's been helping her, like what she went through with her mom. She's becoming a better person, but I tell her it's an everyday process, And my brother Mike jokingly says he went through 9 counselors. He goes, I fucked up some people with my shit. So shout out to my crazy ass family.
Shout out to your girls, man. I met your middle and your youngest last night.
They adore you, bro.
And
they like
bro,
you a lot.
I immediately knew that your youngest ain't with the bullshit.
Yeah, that's my
immediately knew that
that's my right hand, man. Yeah, and they adore you. They listen to your stuff, and she goes, Dad, JP's exactly what I thought he would be. She goes, hearing him laugh, I was like, you have no fucking idea. But no, and I appreciate that, brother. Those girls saved my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people would tell me, oh, you need to have a son. I don't know. I would jokingly say I have a lesbian. She's the closest thing to it. But I appreciate that.
It was close. It was close.
Yeah.
You remind me of that movie Blended with Adam Sandler.
Yeah, exactly.
Where all his daughters are like in jumpsuits and like athletic apparel. And,
you got that one.
Yeah, he's got the oldest daughter like on protein and shit. He's like, you're not taking enough protein.
I told JP, she sent me a video one time. It's like, it's a guy doing some lawn work, and he's like, man, I wish I had a son. And his gay daughter comes out in her boots, and my daughter goes, Dad, that's me. I was like, I love you, you Christian lesbian, you. But no, bro, shout out. I appreciate that, bro. That means a lot to me. Thank you.
So
JP.
before we go, bro, I just want to open this podcast to you, man, to share your most favorite memory about your mom, bro.
I wouldn't say like a particular memory. I would say just
a favorite thing.
The way she was as a person, she was a real strong woman. She was a real go-getter. Yeah. She always, instilled in my younger brother and myself to, if you want something, go get it.
Yeah.
Like just work hard and you'll achieve it. She and it was just her taking care of us. So, and she worked at a bank, but a lot of people thought she had like all this money. Like, oh, your mom works at a bank, you must be rich. I'm like, she worked, like she would say that I work at a bank. I don't own the bank. And it's funny because I work for a bank, and I tell people that all the time. They're like, you make pretty good money. I was like, well, I work for them. I don't own the bank.
I don't get your account, bro.
Yeah. But
I don't know Fannie Mae.
I think just I work for it. Exactly. And just she would always instill that in us, and so I felt that's that was a really good thing to learn, because she was like, you want something, you go get it. And I remember like this one time I was like, we want a big screen TV when we were little. She's like, watch. She got us a big screen TV.
Happen.
She worked overtime. She saved her money. Got us a big screen TV.
I remember that too. That was a huge ass TV.
Yeah, that was a big ass TV.
Yeah.
And that was a heavy ass TV.
That projector.
Yeah.
Big screen.
Yeah.
I went to your house one time, and it was badass. Yeah.
Stuff that she wanted, like she wanted a nicer car. She would save her money, go get you a nicer car, and she would pay it off quick. And I think it's like when she was with my father, he taught her how to manage her money, because they paid the house we lived in. They paid it off like stupid fast. Yeah. So she always instilled that, and it's like, you want it, go get it.
That's badass.
And it's true. Like after I got married, honestly, I didn't want a house, because all my buddies back home had houses, and they're always bitching about like, oh, the roof fucked up,
expenses
or the air conditioning system went out. There's $12,000. Oh, the garage door opener's broken. And I was like, damn. I was like, do I really want that in my life right now? Yeah. But then after I got married, I was like, that's the next step. You gotta get your house. So I was like, fuck, let's just go look and see what, and stuff like that. You want a better, I wanted to do better in my career at the bank. That's what I did. I went and got it. I looked around and see who was being successful and what they were doing, and I instilled that. And so
Salute.
I think just her instilling in us that if you want something, just go get it.
Yeah.
And it works.
And I remember like being young and she was probably the only mom out of our whole friends that were like still hitting the gym and like.
Oh yeah, she
like your mom was grinding in the gym all the time.
Yeah, I remember. There's this girl that lived down the street. You probably know who she is. She was pretty hot at school.
Off camera.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. But she's like, oh, when I told her, like, we were talking for a little bit, and she was like, oh, that's your mom? Because my mom, like, her thing to get, I guess, like, her getaway was, like, to cut the grass, and she wanted the grass cut a certain way.
Yeah.
So whenever I would do it or my brother would do it, she'd be like, no, hell no, get out of here. I'll
Get
do
the fuck
it.
out of here.
And she would cut the grass.
Yeah.
We didn't have an edger. She cut it with fucking scissors or the edging
What
scissors.
the fuck?
She would do it.
God dang.
And I tried it one time, and, like, after, like, 15 minutes, my hands were all fucked up.
Fuck
I was like,
this
no.
noise.
So she would do that, but she would also like suntan and stuff out there.
Yeah.
So when she found out that was my mom, she's like, "Oh, that's your mom. We call her Miss Parker." I was like,
Oh, yeah.
because my mom, she stayed fit. She would go to the gym.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
would run a lot, and maybe that's why I like to go work out and stuff. But
That's badass.
she would stay fit, and I think that was just to get her mind off of whatever was going on.
I hate it when she picked us up though on winter time. Like go to the mall or whatever, and it's Chris's mom picking us up. God damn, that car was gonna be 120 degrees.
Yeah,
dude.
my mom loved it. I don't know why she liked the
I'd be
heat.
like, fuck, I
Yo,
can't
just
get
let me
home.
walk.
I'll walk. Fuck it. Just get me out of here.
Fucking JP is like a fucking Mexican polar bear, he's always. I mean, I'm hot natured too. So whenever I'd stay at his house, like he'd have the fans going
And the
air going,
AC.
and I liked it. But then after a while, I get like cold as shit. And this motherfucker had all the blankets. I'm like, hey,
He was saying it last night. He'd look over at Chris with no blanket.
shivering. Yeah,
He's all comfortable. What are y'all complaining about?
go steal a rug from the kitchen. Give me some more rug.
Yeah, man. You got anyone you want to shout out, bro?
Shout out my wife, Lorraine Martinez. She has a little business she has going on with t-shirts and tanks. She just
cool.
got into
Promote it, bro.
Let me see. Sorry. She has a site. She also has like social media as far as her business goes, but it's let's see here. It's Raindrops Tees Tanks. So she does like graphic prints for like t-shirts and tank tops.
One of ones.
Yeah. Or she'll do pretty much anything, like
That's what I'm saying. Like
hoodies,
your custom order,
yeah,
one of
all that
ones.
stuff. And I mean, she does it herself. She picks out like the quality.
That's on IG.
Yeah, it's on Instagram that's her actual site.
Oh,
you can,
site.
You can go to her. She has her own domain, so you can go to Rain RAINE drops teestanks.com, and she has her own site with her
Sweet.
her
Hell yeah.
inventory there.
And she just y'all will ship out and everything if somebody wants
Yeah,
to.
she ships everything out.
Sweet. I'll look
Yeah.
that-
Say that again in the mic, bro.
Yeah, please.
It's Rain RAINE drops teestanks.com.
And TEES
Yeah.
or just TS?
It's I believe it's. Let me double check one more time.
That's
Yeah,
cool,
it's
brother.
it's TEES.
All right, cool.
Tees. Nice.
But yeah,
I'll check that
that-
out definitely, brother.
And yeah, she can get it to you like pretty quick if depending, just go to her site, or it's the same thing on like Instagram.
Okay.
And you can DM her and she gets you situated. She's like, anytime I find like a T-shirt or something like that has like a graphic on it, she's like, I can do that for you.
Oh,
I was
hell
like,
yeah.
"No, I want that one.
That's cool.
Yeah, but
I don't
yeah,
want yours.
She can do that.
I don't want you. Step it up, babe.
I
Step
don't
it up.
want your life.
Right. And I have a buddy back home. He was part of our wedding. His name's Lamont. I don't know if you remember him. He's a
Yeah, I
black
think,
dude.
yeah.
Well, I just want to say congratulations to him and his wife Lauren. They just had a baby boy this
hell yeah.
Monday.
Fuck
And they're like
yeah.
they're an older couple like me and my wife, and so they were trying and trying.
Yeah,
and trying.
Nice.
dude,
So, I mean,
that's-
you know how it
fuck
is.
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
That's-
And they were able to
that's a Super Bowl win right
yeah.
there, dude.
So
Hell yeah.
I just want to say congratulations to Lamont and Lauren Richardson.
Congratulations to them.
That's a pretty good blessing for them. So, yeah, that's my shout outs there. And I just want to say, thanks again for having me on. I wish I could have been on a lot sooner.
Oh, me
but,
too,
you know,
man.
You know how it
Me
goes.
too. I get it, man. But I believe me, when I first started it, man, you were like one of my first
yeah.
options to
Hell
have you
yeah,
come on.
bro.
Better late than never, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Better late-
because I knew like when people start hearing your stories, majority of the time I was there. So I experienced
You're
that.
like, I remember that.
But we had some fun ass times, as kids and young adults, and for you to share that with everyone.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome because they get to see like the cool shit we did and
Yeah.
the fun times we had and times when we got into some shit we probably shouldn't have been into. And
But they only get to hear a piece of it. Y'all got to
just a little
experience
bit.
it. You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's what happened.
One story before we
Yeah.
leave. You remember when we rented a hotel room at the Coco Inn, and we didn't have a phone, so we went to go put the deposit on the phone, and then we called everybody to invite everybody to the room, and then ordered pizza, and then went to go get the deposit back from the phone and use that money to buy the pizza.
Hell yeah, we did some crazy shit with money. We could
Y'all are ahead of y'all's time, bro. That's badass.
this
thinking
one time
right
before we go,
That's badass.
JP ordered a pizza from Pinocchio's Pizza. We were starving, so he ordered like, let's order the monster pizza. I was like, bro, I ain't got no money. He's like, I think I have some change in my piggy bank. Dude busted out his piggy bank, and yeah, we bought a monster pizza
With pennies.
with pennies. And that wasn't the first time. We went to Wiener Schnitzel one time, drunk as fuck. Fucking JP's asleep at the damn drive-thru because I gave him, I don't know what we took or what it was. But we were pretty fucked up, and we paid with pennies, and they were just like, when they see it, they're just like, okay, just
And
take,
not
take
give it a shit.
Yeah.
Like JP's like, it's money.
No, but I told that Pinocchio's driver that I needed my
Oh, yeah,
my
he was
piggy
pissed.
bank back. And
waited.
he was like, motherfucker.
He counted all the pennies, all $21.99.
Asshole,
Yeah,
JP.
he's like, let me have that back. It was like a baseball or something, you know.
I need that
was
back,
kinda cool.
sir.
It was a bear, right? It
Yeah.
was a big old glass bear.
You were eating a pizza while he's counting it.
He did not give a shit.
Hey man, fuck it. We had pizza.
Hey, man, ain't nothing wrong with that.
That shit was good.
Found a way. Where there's a will, there's a way.
You want to shout out anyone?
Man, shout out to one of my stepmoms, Charlotte Williams. She's beautiful soul, man. Going through some cancer.
yeah.
She's battled it through the last 10 years, and it just recently came back. I think they found like a mass on her brain, but you wouldn't even know it. She's still praising
Her
God.
attitude is
Beautiful lady. Anybody? There's a lot of people know Charlotte. She worked at Tommy's for years. She was a white lady with curly hair. So if you see her, you're like, that's your stepmom? My dad was blessed to have all these women, and she's one of them. But shout out to her, man. She's battling cancer and still just trucking, man. And
Cancer,
she's
just fuck cancer.
fuck
man.
cancer, bro. Yeah, and she has that faith. Like me, I've questioned God recently. You know, like, God, why, dude? You know, people like that. You know, your father and stuff like that. And she's the type like, no, don't do that. And people that have that strength, I love them. So shout out to my mama Charlotte.
Oh yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah. You know, the good die young.
Yes,
That's
sir.
why I try to do a lot of dirt
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Live forever. I'm gonna live forever. Like JP's a fucking
God
vampire.
don't like ugly.
Yeah, JP's 98, still fucking it up.
What's he doing?
Drinking Ezra Williams, baby.
God don't like ugly. Stay over
Stay
there.
those
motherfucker.
motherfuckers. No, but thank you, bro, for having us here. Shout out to
man.
you too, bro. Shout
Yeah.
out to the Pendejos. Some of the other y'all's people that y'all have here. The ladies, Andrea's stuff.
Oh yeah, Dre loves
I've
you.
never checked it out, but
Yeah.
actually my daughter's and their mom. So shout out to y'all, bro, because it's kind of cool to see y'all growing.
Yeah, man.
that's-
Shout out
that's
to the whole
awesome.
generic media, man.
Generic media, yeah, for real, bro.
One thing, I had seen a short story on, I think it was like YouTube, and this guy was talking about how he had a Jewish friend, and he was 30 years old, made $6 million.
Damn.
He's like, how do you Jewish people stay so rich? And he's like, well, we share within our people, the Jewish people. If one person makes $6 million, there's like 4 or 5 other people I do business with that are Jewish, and we make money. We all eat.
Yeah.
And that's what seems like you guys are doing, you know? You know, Jonathan and Eric are doing their thing, and they're putting you on.
That's a
they're
badass
putting
perspective, man.
Donnie Flams on, and you guys are you're all eating, you know.
I love that.
It's great that you say that because it's with them. They have a podcast. You know what I mean? It's never been a competition.
That's what I love about it.
Never,
bro.
man. It's like whatever you need, whatever you want, whatever we can handle for you. Let us know.
The fact that they are like so supportive of you, behind you, backing you, and the other people. Was it Zimmerly? Anthony Zimmerly came on.
Yeah,
and another
with the
person.
let me find out.
Yeah, and even if they're not a part of this, that's the cool thing, because we grow this generation now is a bunch of haters, bro. Like you can't do shit without someone wishing bad upon you. So to hear other people like
just wanting your downfall.
yeah. So to have people surround you like that,
that's
helps
good
you.
that you say that because I've never said that, but it's never been a competition
That's cool.
at
Yeah, it's
all.
like a family. Bro.
It is a family.
That's
yeah.
so cool. Shout out to them, man. They're funny as shit. Man.
So shout
Yeah,
out
they
to Donnie Flam, the deep dive with Donnie Flamingo, the Pendejos, Andrea loves you. But most importantly, shout out to the sponsors, which is Patriot Paint, Tigre Burrito, and DJ Kipo.
Yes.
Shout out to all them, man, and shout out to all you guys. Thank you I know the second video was kind of fucked off when we came back from the break. I was trying something different and it didn't work, so we fixed it. So
He's learning.
this video is going to be a whole lot better. But
Hey, you need me to get Abner to show you trick or treat on how that works? Deal?
hey, Theo,
call me.
Theo, we got some production
Theo, come help
issues.
JT.
Yo, Thomas said, tell Karen hi.
See your tits. Show that bush.
Pop it out.
All right, man. Until next time, read some books.
Peace.
Oh, you're still here? This episode is brought to you by Tigre Burrito, located at 720 Highway 62 in Wolford, Texas. They're open Tuesday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. They specialize in breakfast and lunch burritos. They've also got some plates. Tell them JP Lopez sent you. But breakfast burritos are pretty fucking huge, so you better bring a big appetite. They're the shit.